Ingles 2-day sale this Friday and Saturday.
Hey, it's Mark Starling from First News on 570 for my friends over at Casablanca Cigar Bar. And I got to tell you, this is my new spot for business and for pleasure. Sam, Brooke, and Jackie will make sure all of your cigar and cocktail needs are taken care of. They have a wide selection of the finest cigars in every price point, and their selection of spirits and craft cocktails will have your taste buds watering. So whether it's a smoke and a cocktail at their Biltmore Village location or just a smoke at their new retail location in Hendersonville that has a gorgeous back patio, Casablanca Cigar Bars has all the relaxation you need.
From the Ingles Studios, this is ESPN Asheville, WPEK, W225CJ Fairview, WMXF Waynesville, and iHeart radio station.
I'm Doug Brown. Baseball's Hall of Fame induction ceremony will be on Sunday in Cooperstown, New York. The only inductee this year from a vote of the Baseball Writers Association will be David Ortiz. On Saturday, there'll be several special presentations, including the Writers' Career Excellence Award to ESPN's own Tim Kirkjian. Tampa Bay Buccaneers rookies are due in camp by tomorrow. ESPN's Field Yates knows Tom Brady is still on the team, but a lot of talent has moved on.
It is a slightly reshaped offensive line. Both of their starting guards are no longer there from last season. They are going to start 2 new guards, and that was a strength for them for the past couple of years with Brady under center.
Field Yates on Greene. The SEC media poll picks Alabama as the clear favorite to win the league title. The Crimson Tide get 158 of the 181 votes, with national champion Georgia getting 18. The Bulldogs are picked to win the East Division. South Carolina finished third in the poll.
The new Venture X card from Capital One. Earn 10x miles on hotels and rental cars and 5x miles on flights when you book through Capital One Travel, plus 2x miles on all other purchases. Capital One. What's in your wallet? Terms apply. See CapitalOne.com for details.
Now, your chance to win $1,000. Just enter this nationwide keyword on our website. Cash. That's cash. Enter it now.
Log on to ESPNABL.com. And welcome into the Sportsocracy on a beautiful Friday in the mountains of western North Carolina. It is nice and cool, though, here in the Ingles studio. Always brought to you by Ingles Supermarkets. Low prices, love the savings. And, of course, go get your car over at Fred Anderson Nissan of Asheville like I did. You will be very, very pleased.
They will give you $250 extra on your trade just because you're a member of our family. They're a member of our family, and we all want you to be members of their family.
Indeed. Fred Anderson Nissan of Asheville, 629 Brevard Road, or go to AndersonNissan.com. We've got all of the sports things coming your way. We've got to have the discussion. I saw this twice yesterday. Comments about Jimmy G, where he might end up. And it got out there that he could be joining the Atlanta Falcons.
They called because they look at their quarterback room and go, well, you both are terrible.
And for some odd reason, there's a belief out there that that would change the fortunes for the Atlanta Falcons. So we will talk about Jimmy G coming up in the 4 o'clock hour. Not the 4th hour. We're only doing 3 hours today.
I got news for you. If you're planning on doing a 4th hour today, I'm secret out. That one's going to be you and the mouse in your pocket.
Yeah, I don't have 4 hours in me today. Jimmy G coming up at the 4 o'clock hour. We'll talk about what teams he could join, and does that make them that much better? So wins with Jimmy G, wins without Jimmy G. We'll do all of that. We're also going to talk some fantasy football today because it's an over-under Friday. Today, as you heard in the top of the hour Sports Center, the SEC media poll came out.
And somebody is drunk at work and voted for Vanderbilt.
There were some doozies in that one, so we'll talk over and underachievers in college football this upcoming season. And we're going to do over and undervalued players in fantasy football because, as Jeremy put it, I believe the House of Reprehensibles might have a seizure,
an infarction.
Or something. Yeah, an infarction. If we don't start talking some fantasy football here.
Infarction? Is there a C in that word?
Infarction.
Infarction.
Yes.
That makes that word sound made up.
It does.
That sounds like a made up word now.
Daily Draft coming up at the 3rd hour of the program today, where Jeremy and I will not be doing football players for the first time Well, we did
what
NBA
feels like
players.
forever.
We did NBA players once. We're going to talk about who's the best, bachelor party crew?
The ultimate party people from sports for our fictitious.
Oh, wait, just from sports?
I mean, we can throw others in there.
Oh, okay.
If you want to throw
I
other
was
people in
going
there.
like celebrities.
Oh, Charlie Sheen. You're on deck.
Okay. All right. So we should probably decide pretty soon.
I thought I made that pretty clear, but
sports?
We'll let the people decide.
Yeah. You can weigh in on that at the YouTube channel. Just go to thesportsocracy.com, click on that live video link. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel so you can join us in the chat and have your voice heard one way or the other. And we're going to do some, we used to do a thing called Threadbare Thursday, which
we'll be bringing back for the football season.
Of course, where y'all just throw out topics and we will live react to all of them. We're going to do some of that coming up in the third hour of the program today as well. So
if there's a question you'd like to hear us talk about, go to youtube.com, look for the little beer logo, the logo that Eddie Fox says is the most fire logo in all of radio.
Of course it is.
And then ask your question in the chat, and we'll get to as many of those as we can in the third hour.
Indeed. So all of that on the table today. We got the 12 Bones question of the day. 12 Bones Smokehouse and Brewery. It's the best new NFL helmet because, look, the Carolina Panthers have raised the bar for everybody.
Yeah, and then the Jets just went right over it.
Oh,
they went, hey, look, we're here.
They tried. They tried the best they could, but nobody's touching the Panthers.
Yeah,
That all-black uniform,
disagree.
that all-black uniform was great to begin with, but then you add a black helmet with the blue logo on it. It's
very good.
Straight fire.
I think that Panthers one, it will slide in nicely in third behind my Jets and the Cincinnati Bengals.
Mm-hmm. The Cincinnati Bengals Siberian Tiger helmets are very, very cool as well.
Yeah, I did another show when that debuted yesterday. I called it the Serbian Tiger. It was at that point that I realized that I did not know the difference between a Serbian Tiger and a Siberian Tiger.
Completely different places.
Very different. Very different animals.
So 12 Bones question of the day. Weigh in on that. Best new NFL helmet. Who is doing the extra helmet game the best?
There are more rules to this than I thought there were. I did not know. So you can't wear these helmets with your standard jersey.
No.
You have to do it with an alternate or with the color rush. I didn't know that.
Mm-hmm.
The Philadelphia Eagles, Justin Parton said that in our YouTube comments. That one is also quite nice.
Yes. Philadelphia has, and I had to ask Jeremy the question, what are they going to become, the Oregon Ducks of the NFL? Because they have their regular helmet. What do they call that, midnight green?
I mean, you could probably just get rid of that one.
I think that's what they call the...
I think now you can get rid of that one. We'll just run we'll trot the black one out there permanently. And then you can do the Kelly Greens.
Yeah, they'll have the normal helmet, then they'll have the Kelly Green throwback helmet, plus now they apparently have a black alternate helmet that they're coming out with.
Very
well.
nice.
So,
every team needs a black helmet. Okay, can we stop doing this?
No.
Just everybody needs a black helmet.
No, I don't believe so.
Name me any team that would not benefit from that.
Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Oh, you're crazy. Yours might be the best one of all.
The flag on the black helmet.
And just take away all of the outline and have that the flag on the side of the helmet in
flat black. It's got to be flat
100%.
black though.
And none of these should be shiny.
Yeah. Oh, all of them you want them matte,
they should all be matte.
Like your black Jets helmet.
Mine is exactly like the new Jets black midnight stealth helmet.
Under that.
If you break that, I will kill you.
No, I'm not going to break it. I was pulling it off the shelf, and there was stuff like shoved underneath it. So, as you can see in the YouTube stream here, this is the Keyshawn Johnson signed helmet.
I was ahead of the times, and I had a flat matte black Jets helmet before the Jets even did,
with a little white accent on the actual helmet.
And I'm not sure that I don't like mine better. I kind of wish I hadn't done the white accent on the outside of it. But I'm just happy to have a new helmet.
Okay.
As somebody that has been on the sidelines with the Jets, our current helmet you can see from space. They're not allowed to play near airports outside because airplanes will get lost. They are so bright.
I want to know why is my team waiting until next year to do the Bucco
I
Bruce?
don't know. The Eagles are waiting until next year to do the Kelly Green thing too. But apparently you can only modify your uniforms every 3 years. That must be out the window.
Oh, absolutely.
Because that black Eagles helmet would say, okay, how can you do that and then do I'm lost.
Right.
Just, okay. Everybody needs a throwback. Everybody needs the all black or all white alternate, and then you're regular.
Well, there has been nothing more, other than a Super Bowl ring, obviously, the Tampa Bay fans have been yearning for since Tom Brady came to town, and it's to see him in the creamsicles. And apparently, we're not going to get it because they're holding off till next year for the throwbacks, and Brady's not going to be around anymore.
I love that you can admit that, which tells me it's not going to happen. Evil never dies.
I think it's a given. Is it not a given? Are we not all on this is the last ride of Tom Brady?
Evil never dies.
Evil never dies.
I will not believe it until it happens and he is gone.
Okay. You are in the Sportsocracy here on ESPN Asheville. The SEC preseason media poll came out today.
You did not get nearly as much love as I would have thought.
I didn't expect us to.
But are you not shocked it was 18 total first-place votes?
No, because that's how confident everybody has to be in Alabama and Nick Saban to go, oh, you won last year? That was cute.
You only got 6 times more conference championship votes than South Carolina.
Which is ridiculous. Stop it with the South Carolina Gamecocks thing. Spencer Rattler is not a good quarterback.
He's terrible. Why is this so hard for people to figure out? I've been getting inundated with draft nerds like me that Spencer Rattler could be a top 10 pick. It could be a prima ballerina. I just don't think it's very likely.
Mm-hmm.
And I could star in Cats on Broadway. I just don't necessarily know that I would be cast appropriately.
That's a big damn cat.
That's a big cat.
You just wait.
It's going to be a fun day.
That's the one big cat that Carol Baskins can't wait to kill.
Oh, 100%. You get that one. After my interactions with her people, I think I would be a cat she would be okay with.
I don't get it with the South Carolina thing. It'd be one thing if they had generational weapons or something. Like this is when Alshon Jeffrey was still in school, or even Sidney Rice. Or do they have one of those guys?
The weapons are fine. If you look at that roster and compare it to Alabama, and your takeaway from that is they're every bit as good. You are not good at this. It's comical to me.
Yeah.
I'm not sure I don't think it's dumber that they got 3 they're going to win the SEC votes. I'm not sure that's not dumber than the fact that somebody voted for Vanderbilt.
Which is ridiculous. But there again, that was probably somebody from the Nashville paper.
A couple people have taken credit for it. I don't know which one's accurate.
Of course, people are going to try to claim that one vote. But the thing about it is we don't know who it is. We don't know who gave them the vote. They only got one vote.
They drink aggressively, whoever it is, and they're probably employed by Vanderbilt.
Right. Georgia's picked to win the East. Alabama's picked to win the West. The two shall meet in the championship, and I was not feeling slighted at all that most people picked Alabama to win.
But 158 of the 181, that's overwhelming.
Mm-hmm. Well, you got to
Clemson will be lucky to do that in the ACC.
You got to look at how much. Well, I think there are legitimate questions there.
Who's the contender
in the ACC?
Please say Miami.
Miami's going to be one of them.
I'm going to say the same thing.
Going to get a little
I'm going
love.
to say the same thing about Miami that I just said about South Carolina. If you look at those two rosters side by side, and your takeaway is you are bad at this. I like that team. We're getting ready to talk about overrated, underrated teams. Well, Miami's on one of those two lists, and it's probably not the one you would want them to be.
Bet you NC State will get some love in that.
To win the conference?
Some
one I at least
Some believe that they're a top 10 team in the country. I'm not one of them, but a lot of faith in Devin Leary coming back. The entire defense is coming back, which was pretty lights out last year. I mean, far be it from me to be the one to speak highly on NC State football of all things, but that is a pretty good team. It just depends on how good Devin Leary is going to be this year. You are in the Sportsocracy, ESPN Asheville 92.9 FM, 880 AM and 1400. We'll talk some college football over and underachievers for the upcoming season next.
Real estate isn't about properties. It's about people. I am Clarissa Marshall with eXp Realty, serving all of Western North Carolina. Navigating the home buying and selling journey can feel overwhelming at times, and that's why having an agent who cares about you and your needs is key. I'm a native of Western North Carolina, and I close over a home a week. I'm an expert in the market, pricing my sellers correctly to net you the most money, and working as a skilled negotiator for my buyers. Please give me a call today at 828-774-6343 to set up a complimentary market analysis.
If cleanliness is next to godliness, look around the car right now. Is that very godly? Look, life comes at you fast, but so does WBNC Auto Detailing. They have the tools to make your interior look like it's coming off the showroom floor. You don't believe me? Check them out on Instagram. All that filth and years of stains disappear. WBNC Auto Detailing does full interior and exterior details with paint correction, and they do wax and ceramic coatings. Call WBNC Auto Detailing at 455-3700. Premium care with a Southern hospitality touch.
Everyone's heard about the housing market and this being the best time to sell a house in years. But the same thing applies to cars. Whether you're looking to buy a car, trade in, or sell that car in the driveway collecting dust, Fred Anderson Nissan of Asheville wants to buy your car. They have 2 on-site managers that work with Kelly Blue Book to give you top dollar for your vehicle. You can even have your car appraised instantly at AndersonNissan.com. Stop in and visit them today at 629 Brevard Road in Asheville or call them at 828-365-1663.
iHeartRadio Earth is here with little tips for a healthier planet. Running your car's air conditioning is the main contributor to reduced fuel economy in hot weather. Improve your fuel economy in hot weather by putting the windows down at lower speeds and using the AC with windows up at highway speeds. Brought to you by iHeartRadio Earth and the National Environmental Education Foundation. To find more tips for smarter, sustainable living or to take action in your own community, go to iHeartRadio.com/Earth.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Looking good, Mrs. Dubs.
The head groundskeeper at Thad's Golf Course just retired.
We need to find someone in the next 2 weeks. Someone with botany and management experience.
He needs a replacement because the greens are already looking a little rough.
Aeration, they need to know it all.
Indeed can help him hire great people fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. You can schedule and conduct virtual interviews all from your employer dashboard. Earn up to $500 in sponsored job credits by interviewing on Indeed. Visit Indeed.com/credit. Terms and conditions apply.
This week at Macy's, get set for back to school with 30% off the latest trends and classic jeans from Levi's. Or use your coupon or Macy's card and get an extra 20% off dresses and already great deals like 20% off backpacks and handbags. Plus, Macy's Star Rewards members earn on every purchase except gift cards, services, and fees. See Macys.com/Star Rewards. Savings off regular sale and clearance prices. Exclusions apply.
The Sportsocracy.
What are you people? On dope?
I wasn't aware that marijuana became legal in the state of Tennessee, or at least maybe in Nashville, because someone voting for Vanderbilt to win the SEC this year. Look, you talked about the head coach. What's his name?
Clark
Lay, whatever. Clark Lay coming out at SEC Media Days and saying that we all know eventually Vanderbilt's going to be the best program in the country.
Certainly not all, and it's only a we if you've got a mouse in your pocket.
Look, I got to give the guy credit. I mean, to be
I don't.
To say
dumb.
something like that, I get it. I get it. It sounds ridiculous. He's got faith in his ability to coach. Hopefully, he's got some recruiting things up his sleeve. Maybe some of that doctor money at Vanderbilt's going to start playing a factor in their recruiting. I don't know. I don't know how you're going to do it, how you ever think you're going to be able to compete with the likes of Georgia and Alabama and even Florida and, hell, I'll say South Carolina.
They've been to 6 bowl games since 1982.
Oh, yeah.
This is not good.
No, it's not. But, somebody believes that Vanderbilt's going to be an overachiever.
They went 26 years without being bowl eligible. That's hard to do. It's really hard to do that. But even with that first place vote, they're not the most overrated team in the SEC.
Who is the most overrated?
Texas A&M. It's Texas A&M.
Yeah,
I'm not saying they're not talented, but you're counting a lot on a ton of freshmen.
Mm-hmm.
Do you remember how bad this offense was? And look, I think you're going to be in better shape with Max Johnson. I'm just not positive he's going to win the job.
Right.
It's weird to me that we're going into August and that still hasn't been announced yet. Tell me that wouldn't be the most Jimbo Fisher thing humanly possible.
To have the number 1 recruiting class in the country that you paid $300 million for.
And not have a quarterback, which is supposed to be your wheelhouse.
I believe it'll be Max Johnson. But every year I feel like Texas A&M falls into this category of underachiever. I mean, aside from the Johnny Manziel year. That was definitely an overachieving year. But every year they're expected to be, second, at least since Jimbo came along. And something happens. They lose games that they're not supposed to, or they lose really close ones. But their win total right now is only 8.5.
There's only one poll that's really out there. 24/7 Sports did a top 25, what it's probably going to look like when it's voted on.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know where Texas A&M is? 4.
13.
They're 4.
4?
4.
Wow.
And I don't think they're wrong. I very easily could see that being how this goes. Because not everybody's on the USC bandwagon like I am.
Mm-hmm.
I'll save you the me having to say that again. USC, criminally underrated going into this season. But at what point do you look at Jimbo Fisher and go, the football's been yanked out from in front of me how many times?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. We're just going to keep doing this? Okay.
Yeah.
The offense is still not good. The schedule is brutal. Have you looked at their schedule?
Not lately.
They're 3 non-conference games, and all 3 of these are at home.
Mm-hmm.
Sam Houston State. Okay, it's cakewalk.
It's a 60-point win.
Appalachian State, which is not going to be fun. No. I'm not saying you're going to lose to them. It's not going to be fun. Ask Miami. We've seen this before.
Mm-hmm.
And then you play Miami. You're not better than Miami. At this point, you are really certainly not a quarterback. They have a potential Heisman Trophy winner at quarterback. We're hoping you do the right thing and play Max Johnson.
Mm-hmm.
That may not end well for you. Then you go through the SEC, and they play none of the dregs. They play the 8 best teams in the SEC. There's no Vanderbilt. There's no that is the dregs of the SEC now that I'm thinking about it. But, I mean, you play at Alabama. You play at South Carolina, which is – it's not going to be fun.
Mm-mm.
That's not a fun place to play. I've been there. It's very loud. And if they start with any kind of momentum, that place will be insane. I just don't see it. I don't see a path that A&M loses less than – I mean, you said what's their over-under, 8.5?
Yes.
I'll probably take the under.
Really?
That means Vegas is lower on them than the public will be. Of which Vegas is the place you should turn to for that information because they tend to be right more often.
Mm-hmm.
But that's the one that just screams at me. People are going to fall in love with this team. I see it coming because they are talented.
Mm-hmm.
They're also young. And you got no schedule benefits whatsoever.
Another team that I saw ranking earlier today. They had them coming back into the top 10 after what I feel like has been a decade since they've been relevant is Michigan State.
I don't get that one either. You lost. Do you not remember what happened when you played Ohio State? They mitigated Ken Walker III, and you were completely irrelevant.
Mm-hmm.
They ran you off the field.
Ken Walker's gone. Jalen Naylor's gone. That was most of your offensive firepower right there.
I just don't get it. Like, I don't see what – and I like Mel Tucker. I think he's a good coach.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't see what you're seeing. Like, how are you going to contend even in this conference? Michigan returns a lot. Yes, they lost a lot, but they return a lot of guys that played snaps and meaningful snaps. And Harbaugh's got a little chip on his shoulder. Penn State's going to be good if they can find anybody to competently play quarterback. Sean Clifford's still there?
No.
I feel like he was at Penn State for 43 years. So.
No, he's in the XFL, I think, or in the USFL.
Is he?
Or he was. I think he got drafted.
He shouldn't have.
In the USFL. I don't know that he ever played.
No, he's the quarterback at Penn State.
Is he really?
You're thinking of the wrong one.
Really?
Yeah, trust me, they've had four quarterbacks that look exactly alike.
I think I'm thinking of Shea Patterson.
Shea Patterson
he was
Michigan.
the failed Michigan quarterback.
He was good. God, he was bad. But I mean, I just look at the Big Ten and just with the team you said, Michigan State can't contend with that.
Mm-mm.
You don't have the horses to contend with the teams I just said.
No.
And I'll be honest with you, underrated team in the Big Ten, and you're going to tell me I'm out of my mind, and I don't care. I think Maryland is grossly underrated. They're going to be able to score, and they're going to be able to score on anybody. Now, can they play dead in the Western on defense? I don't really know. Somebody's going to have to step up that I know nothing about.
Right.
But they're going to score. That could be one of the most prolific offenses in the country.
You feel like that's an overachiever for this year.
I mean, I think their over-under in wins is like 4.5 or something.
6.
Is it 6?
6.
It's fine. That's fine. I mean, just thinking about the Big Ten, I don't have their schedule in front of me, but that team's going to be able to score.
Mm-hmm.
And in large part, a lot of teams in the Big Ten can't score. Good Lord. They start with Buffalo. They're playing at Charlotte.
Really?
How does Maryland end up playing at Charlotte?
That's a road trip, dude.
To
go see Rakeem Jarrett and Dante Demas
and
Jr.?
Talia Tagovailoa. Oh,
Heck
yeah. I'm in. Business
Do they even
expense.
have a football stadium?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I've never been
what
down there.
did you think? They played it out in the field?
No, I mean, they could play it at Bank of America and nobody cares.
Yeah, I'm totally down.
Right.
I see a way of making that tax deductible.
Yeah, that could be a business trip.
Oh, 100%. We could make that a fan trip. That could be fun.
That's an HOR trip right there. That's a House of Reprehensibles road trip to go see Patrick Holt.
Did we just decide something?
I think we
live
did.
on air?
I think we did.
I love these Let's Get
Charlotte
Weird Friday
and
shows.
Maryland in Charlotte. All right, we'll give you the
I'm going to scope out
tickets
during the break.
There you go. There you go. We got to do more field trips as a family this year.
I like how you said that. I'm all the way in.
Just no chaperones, and that's fine.
It's a small little stadium, but you can get in.
Nice. All right, so we've at least made some progress here in the first half hour of the program. We'll continue the talk on over and underachievers in college football. Coming up next, plus we'll get just a bit outside. Stick with us here on ESPN Asheville, the iHeartRadio app, and on the YouTube stream, thesportocracy.com.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
Hot temperatures for us here this weekend. Highs expected to be in the 90s both Saturday and Sunday. Partly cloudy skies for us here tonight. Some patchy fog late, mid-60s. Morning fog Saturday. Otherwise, mostly sunny and very hot. All the way up into the low 90s tomorrow afternoon. Mix of clouds and sun. Hot and humid Sunday. Stray late-day shower storm possible. Low 90s. Better storm chances Monday. I'm meteorologist Ken Boone at the Weather Channel.
This report is sponsored by AutoZone. Get in the zone. Starting stronger starts at AutoZone, where they've got battery solutions in the form of free battery testing, free battery charging, and replacement batteries that fit your needs. That's what makes them America's #1 battery destination. Get in the zone. AutoZone.
Are you tired of being sidelined by nagging pain? Hi, I'm Emmett Smith, Hall of Famer and Dance with the Stars champion. Happy to tell you about QC Kinetics and their biologic therapies for treating pain without drugs or surgery.
Are you suffering from chronic pain in your hips, knees, shoulder, or lower back? Are you tired of living with arthritis pain? QC Kinetics offers natural pain treatment that can repair and restore damaged tissue in your joints.
Listen, I know pain, and I've seen firsthand how powerful biologic therapies can be. Patients at QC Kinetics rave about their result because they're getting their lives back. They are getting moving again.
These exciting regenerative treatments used to be available only to pro athletes like Emmett. Now they're available to anyone thanks to QC Kinetics. Call today for your free consultation.
Get long-lasting results from my friends at QC Kinetics.
Call QC Kinetics, 828-333-9517. 2 area locations. QC Kinetics, 828-333-9517. That's 828-333-9517.
There's a lot of talk about the COVID-19 vaccines, and everyone has an opinion. So I went to somebody I already trusted, my doctor. Talk to your doctor or healthcare provider and make the decision that's right for you. Go to getvaccineanswers.org for the latest information. Brought to you by the Ad Council.
There's a lot of talk about heroes these days.
Hey, buddy, you want to go fishing?
The folks in the funny outfits with superpowers and spandex.
All right, buddy, let me help you.
But at Ingles, we know that a lot of our heroes
Now you look like a pro.
are a little closer to home. They're the ones who give us what we need for those everyday adventures. That's why we look up to the ones who look out for us.
Don't forget your fish food. Catch a big one.
Ingles.
See you later, Dad.
All the ingredients for family.
When I finally drove the old car into the grave, I knew there was only one place I was going to go. Fred Anderson Nissan of Asheville, home of the family plan. And yes, they treat you like family. I went in, told them what I was looking for, told them my budget, and in no time, I was signing the paperwork on my certified pre-owned vehicle. They have the area's largest selection on quality pre-owned vehicles and certified Nissans. They go through a 167-point inspection, so you know it's not going to let you down. They gave me the Carfax report, so I know the history of my vehicle. And the Fred Anderson family plan gives me things like oil changes and car washes and loaner cars if I have to have major work done on the car in the future. For me, buying a car has always been an intimidating thought. But the folks at Fred Anderson Nissan of Asheville made it super easy. Don't be like me. Don't wait till the last minute to get a deal done. Go to AndersonNissan.com or stop by the showroom at 629 Brevard Road. And don't forget to mention we sent you from the Sportsocracy and get a $250 bonus on your trade-in at Fred Anderson Nissan of Asheville.
Boy, you must be outside your mind.
The Sportsocracy.
Just a bit outside. He tried the corner and missed.
You are in the Sportsocracy here on ESPN Asheville, 92.9 FM, 880 AM, and 1400. So September the 10th. September the 10th is the day that the Maryland Terrapins will be playing in Charlotte against the 49ers. And I feel like we have to do this.
Mullet's road trip.
Yep.
The text has already been sent.
Mullets and skeletons on the road.
Ian.
There may be a party bus involved now. I have no idea.
I'm already I am sculpting this in my head
and yes,
live on the air.
And yes, JT Money asked in the comments on the YouTube stream, do I have to get a permission slip from my wife? No, you don't have to ask her for a damn thing. You come and you tell her you're doing other stuff that day.
At Sports Take ESPN. I even offered to get HWA to notarize it. So I did my due diligence.
There you
All
go.
right.
So you are going permission slip. Like, everybody needs permission slip.
No.
Like, what?
That's the kind of relationship HWA and I have. Like, I gotta go to the store 2 days later. Hey, you're back. Yeah. You're missing a chunk of hair and a tooth. What in the world have you been doing?
Nice. All right, just a bit outside. Today, we got to give props. We got to give props to American sprinter Noah Lyles. He set the new record. You never thought there was going to be another Michael Johnson? Well, guess what? Sad thing is, there are people listening to this show that don't even know who Michael Johnson is. That makes me feel old. Michael Johnson, who was the fastest American track star in history, had his record broken in the 200 meters at the World Championships. Noah Lyles ran it in 19.31 seconds. Unbelievable. Hopefully he can be the next star. We haven't had a track star in a long time, I don't feel like, in America.
No. Not to that level.
I mean, we had obviously Usain Bolt took over for a long time as the worldwide leader. Of course, here in Western North Carolina, we were all excited when Mandy Mitchell made the heroic run in the Olympics with a broken leg in the 4x100 meter relay. Was it the 4x100 or the 4x400? I don't remember. Anyway, Manny Mitchell, hailing from Western Carolina University, but now we may have a new star. Noah Lyles, 19.31 seconds in the 200 meters, wins the world title for the United States of America. So kudos to you, Noah.
Last week I gave NASCAR credit.
Yep.
Because they figured out how to drive in the rain.
Yes.
Cars drive in the rain. Mm-hmm. They have headlights and rain tires. Figure it out.
And wipers.
Well, I am rescinding that.
Why?
Because documents have been uncovered by the Kicking the Tires website that they plan to launch an electric series next year.
A series?
And they're going to start this at the Clash at the LA Coliseum. And then there will be a 6-race series that is aligned with Cup Series weekends where they race 1,000 horsepower all-wheel drive fully electric cars.
Why?
There's one problem with that. And I'm not going to lie, Eddie and Amanda Fox gave me the story because I had not seen this. They brought it to me.
Mm-hmm.
And hilariously, Amanda was the one that figured out the problem with this. Electric cars don't make noise. You start them and they just go... That's not a race. 40 of those. That's not a race. I need the noise. I need to yell at Billy Ray to tell me to go get me another Busch Light, Billy.
Yeah, you're definitely going to be able to hear the folks around you. And that might be if you don't like the noise, then maybe that'll be the race that you want to mark on your calendar that you need to be sure to attend because you're just going to hear a whole bunch of
I mean, do you have to stop and plug the car up midway through the race?
That's half the enjoyment to me of going to the race is the noise and just the bass. You got to feel your chest just vibrating as the cars go around the track. I get it. I mean, it's loud.
100%. If you walk away from a NASCAR race not screaming because you're partially deaf, you did it wrong.
Very easy. All you got to do is you can rent some of those like noise canceling earphone things, or
so supposedly they're going to be pumping in car sounds into the.
Stupid. Stop that.
So Amanda Fox had a brilliant idea. The drivers should have to make the car noise with their mouth.
Yes.
And put microphones on them. Make them make their own noise.
Make their own noise. Loudest car wins.
Electric NASCAR cars.
That is so ridiculous. I mean, why don't we just make them
Sorry,
self-driving?
we got to take a 4-hour timeout to plug up Jimmy Johnson's car. So stupid.
I think we should just make them self-driving after that. We'll just...
what's
hey.
that? Apparently you can make a self-driving car not do anything by putting a ring of salt around it.
I saw that meme online
That is
today.
information
is
that I don't know, but I'm going to try it. If I see one of those cars, 100%. You find me a picture of Morton's sea salt, we're about to have a good old time.
I was going to say, do you know anybody who has one of those?
No, I don't. No, I don't. I know a lot of people that have cars that are older than I am, of which you were one of those people until very recently.
That. But now no longer am, thanks to Fred Anderson Nissan of Asheville, 629 Brevard Road, AndersonNissan.com. Don't forget to tell them we sent you. You get a $250 bonus on your trade-in just for mentioning our radio show. Here in the Sportsocracy, where we talk college football.
I was about to say, we do have a name.
I thought you were going to follow up with something else, but, it's fine. We are talking college football here as we are getting so close to the start of the season.
Do you realize that the Hall of Fame game is 2 weeks away?
Yay.
College football is 36 days away.
I'm so excited.
5 weeks from today. We're bringing it back.
Yeah.
If you've been listening to this show for any period of time, you know how we do picks on Fridays.
Oh, pick Fridays are so much fun.
And it's going to get so much weirder because now we have 3 hours, which means I get to do it 3 times.
You're going to have to dig even deeper, and I know that really hurts you.
Oh, yeah. You mean I get to go crazy for a whole segment, and I get to do it 3 times every Friday?
All right, the college football season will be opening up, August 28th? Something like that?
It's something like that. It's 5 weeks from tomorrow.
5 weeks from tomorrow. So who's going to overachieve? Who's going to underachieve? I feel like one of the safest bets in college football is on the Georgia Bulldogs, at least on their win total. Because
safest?
I mean, I get it. The win total is already going to be high.
It's 11.5.
Is it 11.5?
It's 11.5.
I didn't realize. I thought it was 10.5. And at 10.5,
I think that depends on if you're. Some books do count the win in the conference title game. Some don't.
Okay.
So I think it depends on which book you're in.
If you can find it for 10.5, book it now. I don't see much of a path for Georgia not going 0-1 wins. They're going to be in that category. Aside from the championship game, obviously. But that regular season schedule is easy.
Yeah, I mean, you got some advantages there.
Mm-hmm.
But, I mean, to me, that one, it's so low yield. There's so little margin for error.
True.
I hate wagers like that. But there is one that I think is dumb talk.
Okay.
And this is a team that I'm probably going to kill all year long. I don't really see a path that I don't, because I don't understand why people are so in love with them. It's Oklahoma. Do you realize how much this team lost? And now with Brent Venables as a first-time head coach, you think he's just going to trot in here and be hunky-dunky? Really?
We're just not used to seeing big programs take giant leaps backwards.
They'll take a step back every year for the next 3 years.
Really?
Mm-hmm. I didn't like that you hired Brent Venables. He's a fine coordinator.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think this is a job. I don't ever like hiring the defensive guy. That's just never going to be something that I go, yeah, that works out swimmingly. And the schedule's not brutal, which means that people are going to push this up. You still got a lot of ugly games on the road. And I just don't buy this team.
Mm-hmm.
I don't buy that you're going to lose your number one wide receiver. You're going to lose your coach and your quarterback, and everything's just hunky-dunky. Boomer Schooner.
But you're still Oklahoma, and you at least have the, I was going to say you at least have the advantage of being in the Big 12, but the Big 12 isn't as much of a cakewalk.
No, there's a slew. I mean,
as
Baylor
it used to be. Yeah,
you still have to draw
Baylor's
Baylor. You draw a Tech. Now, the game with Texas, the game with Baylor are both at home.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know that I care. Just looking at the roster from top to bottom, I'm not sure both those teams are better than you.
You still got Oklahoma State, who's going to be one of the top teams in the country again.
Yeah, the defense will be good, but I don't know if it'll be as good.
Well, I mean, to me, it obviously matters more in college that you can play defense. That you can. I mean, it's great to score 60 points a game, but look at Ole Miss. I mean, Ole Miss put up points in boatloads last year. And they were a good team. Don't get me wrong. I mean, they
played the Sugar Bowl,
right? I mean, they were a good team, but you're not a championship level team if you can't play really good defense.
I'm glad you mentioned. That Ole Miss team, because that's another one I wanted to talk about. I don't understand why they are getting absolutely no love. They have the easiest schedule in the SEC.
Easiest?
I mean, and it's relative. You still play.
I was going to say they play in the West, so it's.
Well, I mean, you still play Alabama and
A&M.
You don't play Georgia. I'm not as worried about A&M. I think they're more talented than A&M. Adding Jackson Dart and Zach Evans is a big deal.
Mm-hmm.
I could argue Jackson Dart is second behind Caleb Williams in terms of transfer quarterbacks that have gone somewhere else. I fell in love with him at USC.
Mm-hmm.
I thought it was going to be him and Lincoln Riley, and then, well, that hope got dashed quickly.
Right.
That team's good. Good.
Mm-hmm.
Going to score a ton. And I could make the case. You play at LSU, at Texas A&M, and Alabama in a 3-week stretch. Other than those three, I don't see a game you're going to lose. I just don't see one on the schedule. I mean, what are you going to get? You going to lose at Vanderbilt? I don't think so. Kentucky going to come into your house and beat you? I'm going to say no.
Maybe.
They can't keep up with you offensively. They don't have the weapons. I love Will Levis. Don't get me wrong. Jackson Dart is going to have a field day with you. That's one that I've looked at this entire season going, at some point, that's going to catch up.
Mm-hmm.
And it hasn't.
Well, not everybody can be contenders, and when you feel like Alabama,
I'm not necessarily saying they're
A&M
contenders.
So great,
They're being treated as they're being lumped in with South Carolina and Tennessee,
which is ridiculous.
They're better than both of those teams.
Mm-hmm.
I like where Tennessee's headed. You ain't there yet. You two play heads up right now. I do not like how that's going to go for you.
No. And I don't care how much trash your fans bring to the game.
I did. Did you see the picture at SEC Media Days of Lane Kiffin signing the bottle of mustard?
No.
Hilarious. He just gets it. I mean, he does.
Of course. You said you would never go with a defensive guy. Now, we've said that about the NFL.
Never.
I was going to say, we've said that about the NFL.
I shouldn't say never, but it would be really hard.
But in college, I mean,
it has the same problem in college that has the NFL. Even if you wind up with that offensive guy, he will take another job within a year.
Mm-hmm.
And then you're just doing it all over again. The defense, I can find somebody to coordinate my defense. Oklahoma State just had the best coordinator in the country.
I'm just thinking about the great college football coaches. I mean, I feel like a great handful of them are defensive guys.
Nick Saban and Kirby Smart.
Wasn't Dabo a defensive guy?
I don't remember what Dabo was.
I really don't either. James Franklin?
I don't see him as a defensive guy, if that tells you anything.
James Franklin?
Yeah.
Dave Aranda? He's like, what is your infatuation with Dave Aranda?
Dabo was an offensive guy. I thought he was, but I didn't want to say that and be wrong.
All right.
You do have an infatuation with Dave Aranda. Like, do you have a deal with him that every time you say his name, he gives you like $8?
No, it was one of those things that I've thought he was going to be a good head coach at the college level. He goes to Baylor, and I'm like, oh, okay, it's fine. You see some improvement. And then the thing that sold me, I guess, was the Oklahoma State game. When Baylor and Oklahoma State had that unbelievable defensive showdown at the end of the year last year, wow, I mean, to me, there's some magic there. I'm not saying it's on the level of Scott Drew and the basketball team. I'll reiterate that from yesterday. But Dave Aranda, to me,
he's a talented coach. It's hard for me to look at that with the way college football has gone. Is there anything sexy about Baylor?
No.
High-end prospects, are they looking at Dave Aranda going, I can't wait to get to Waco?
I mean, if you're a defensive player, I could see that.
Maybe. I mean, they have two guys that are in my top 100. One of them, I, in large part, would assume most average college football fans don't even know what his name is.
Mm-hmm.
Siaki Ike is the only one you know, and it's because he didn't start there. So I'm not going to say I would never do it. I would not have done it at Oklahoma. And I think the Brent Venables hire is going to age poorly.
Obviously, with the college football season around the corner, we'll be doing a lot more of the breakdowns of the college ranks. Who's going to overachieve? Who's going to underachieve? I'm sure we'll do several daily drafts based on the college football season coming up here later on in the program. You are in the Sportsocracy here on ESPN Asheville.
At Ingles, we're all in for summer. Whether you're hitting the trails, hitting the water, or hitting the golf ball, we have everything you need for the perfect picnic, the greatest grill out, and the best beach vacation. We know that the mountains are calling, the open road awaits, and that pool party is ready to rock. So head on over to Ingles and stock up on all the goodies to get you through your summer of freedom. Ingles, low prices, love the savings.
Rogue Combat Club, Asheville's home for comprehensive martial arts training, has a goal for our community, one that's stronger, more fit, and unwavers in its support of one another. Rogue Combat Club's instructors have competed at the highest levels and offer classes for everyone from young children to adults in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, Muay Thai, and wrestling. Rogue Combat Club classes can help you boost your self-confidence and self-defense skills while weeding out the egos and intimidation found at other gyms. Join today at roguecombatclub.com.
Real estate isn't about properties, it's about people. I'm Clarissa Marshall with eXp Realty, your native realtor serving all of Western North Carolina. I will work hard for you, and I believe in doing the right thing every time. I market each of my listings to reach out-of-town buyers. I use a professional photographer and drone video on every single listing, as well as collaborate with agents across the country to find your buyer. Check me out online at clarissasellswnc.com or give me a call at 828-774-6343. It would be my pleasure to assist you through the real estate process.
You deserve to feel proud of your smile. August 11th is National Align Your Teeth Day, and to celebrate, Asheville Smiles is hosting an Invisalign Day and offering the best price on Invisalign in North Carolina. Dr. Merrill is a master of the smile makeover. They'll provide you with a simulated 3D scan to show you how you'll look after Invisalign treatment. Now is the best time to save big and get that smile you've always wanted. To schedule your consultation, visit AshevilleSmiles.com today.
ABYSA. Get ready to play. Soccer's the fastest growing sport in the USA today.
The Asheville Buncombe Youth Soccer Association's fall registration is going on now. ABYSA Recreation Soccer is safe, fun, and affordable, and a great way for kids to exercise and make friends. An ABYSA team is forming in your neighborhood. Registration ends soon.
Go to ABYSA.org and register today.
Did you know audio memory lasts 6 times longer than visual memory? That's why businesses advertise with iHeartMedia, the #1 audio company in the country. Reach consumers with radio, podcasting, streaming, and more. Make your business a household name and visit iHeartAdvertising.com or call 844-BUY-RADIO. Grow your reach, grow your business. Call iHeartMedia today. Visit iHeartAdvertising.com or call 844-BUY-RADIO.
Choosing Sides, F1, a podcast about... What are we doing here, Lily?
Well, you're in the right place, Michael. I'm Lily Herman, Formula One expert.
And I'm Michael Costa, comedian, and I'm just going to be honest here, complete F1 newbie.
On this inaugural season of Choosing Sides, we're tackling the historic and controversial sport of Formula One race car driving.
Who are these drivers? Rich kid? Daddy issues.
Daddy issues galore. Listen to Choosing Sides F1 on the iHeartRadio app.
Or wherever you get your podcasts.
Welcome back into the Ingles Studio on ESPN Asheville. I'm Tank Spencer. He's Jeremy Greene. And yes, we can't wait for the football season. Either training camps underway in the NFL. Not all of them are underway right now. But Deshaun Watson showed up at camp today. So there's that. I don't know what else you want me to say about it because Deshaun Watson's in town. Okay. Is he going to be able to play? Still remains the question on the football season. Will Judge Sue L. Robinson decide to punish him or not? And what will the NFL's reaction to be to whatever the decision is? We're still waiting to find out.
I think one of the things that we've undervalued here, what if this takes through the season to go through the legal process?
It won't.
You say that.
Yeah.
He does have the right to appeal.
Mm-hmm.
He does have the right to appeal.
He does.
And I have been told that if this is anything more than 4 games, he's gonna. So then what happens? You're going to make him sit out for it? I mean, because he can't recoup them. That's usually how this is adjudicated. If it can be retrieved, money, we'll take it and deal with it. Mm-hmm. If it can't be retrieved, then we'll push it off until the legal process unfolds. And they're not going to do this in the middle of the year. Now, you got to understand, the Hall of Fame game is 2 weeks from yesterday. Mm-hmm. We're 13 days away from the kickoff of the preseason.
Mm-hmm.
I am dumbfounded this has taken this long. That tells me behind the scenes there are a lot of things happening. There's a lot of
and there's a lot of there's a lot of theorizing going on right now of why it's taking so long. And I've seen, maybe the judge in this case is waiting to see if the NFL and Deshaun's camp will come to some sort of an agreement, because that's still a possibility.
It is, but I don't find it to be very likely.
I don't either, but maybe that's what she's waiting on. I don't know. There were rumors that maybe she could, hand down the decision today, but we've yet to see it.
I think this is about the 19th day that I've seen it trending on Twitter. We could have a Deshaun Watson decision today.
What is it you like to say? Today would be a great day.
Today would be a great day to never have to talk about this ever again.
Right. Unfortunately, that's not the way that's going to work.
No.
Because the decision will come out, and then there will be some controversy that will have to go down because it's, if he doesn't get suspended, then, what's wrong with the process and all of that. It's just never going to end.
Yeah, I'm not doing that. I'm Seacrest out. I have to wash my hair the day that you're going to talk about that. You and Caleb Pete can handle that one while I'm on vacation.
Oh, okay. We probably will have to.
That would be great timing. I leave to go on vacation in a few weeks, and the decision comes down about 5 minutes after I walk out of the studio. Like, enjoy that, boys.
See, I don't.
See you in a week.
And I don't feel like it's going to take that long. I feel like there will be a decision within the next week. Not having any knowledge.
But I mean, how many times have we said that?
Well,
there's something hanging this up. There is nothing that makes sense other than there is something out there that can make this more convoluted than it's already been.
Mm-hmm.
And the only thing I can figure is it's Deshaun Watson and his camp going, if you do this, we will make this ugly. We will take this through court. We will drag you through the mud, and we will literally, any decision you've ever made, we're going to point at it and go, why are you doing this to me and you didn't do it to him?
Mm-hmm.
And I don't care if it's Bob Kraft. I don't care who it is. There will be nothing off limits.
Yep.
And I think they look at that and go, could we not? Could we not do that?
Deshaun's camp and the NFLPA have already said that they plan to file some kind of a legal action if it is a year-long suspension, as was leaked out earlier in the process, that's what the league wants at this point. I don't know how true that is. All I know is that the league wants this to go away in the quietest way possible.
Oh, yeah, that ship sailed.
Oh, absolutely.
If you want to do that, you should have done it 9 weeks ago.
Mm-hmm.
You didn't. Now you're here.
I still feel like there's something you could have done last year to make this not be a thing for this year.
I mean, just think if you had suspended him for last year.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't play anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Would that have been enough to make this go away?
Heck yeah. It would have been exactly.
I mean, the net result is still the same.
It would have been exactly as you were saying earlier in this summer, or in the late spring when we were talking about this, of time served. Time served, be done with it, go on. If Roger Goodell had just done the thing that you kept railing he shouldn't do last year and put him on the exempt list for the entire season, we could be done with this by now. The cases get settled, say, but what, 2? Is that what we're at? Where 2 are still hanging over the head of Deshaun Watson right now? Everything else has been settled. He's already served a year-long stint on the commissioner's exempt list. I don't feel like there'd be too many people that would have a problem.
And you've let it go this long. Now we're to the season. Now this is interrupting your regularly scheduled programming, which was an error in judgment. Much like the topic of our next segment, Jimmy Garoppolo.
That's right, Jimmy G. He's going to be cleared medically next month. He's already been given permission to seek a trade, and wherever he winds up, I don't know. There's some crazy theories about how much that will change the fortunes of those teams. We'll talk about that coming up after the Sports Center update here on ESPN Asheville.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
Hot temperatures for us here this weekend. Highs expected to be in the 90s both Saturday and Sunday. Partly cloudy skies for us here tonight. Some patchy fog late, mid-60s. Morning fog Saturday. Otherwise, mostly sunny and very hot. All the way up into the low 90s tomorrow afternoon. Mix of clouds and sun. Hot and humid Sunday. Stray late-day shower storm possible low 90s. Better storm chances Monday. I'm meteorologist Ken Boone at the Weather Channel.
This report is sponsored by Lowe's. Find summer savings on select major appliances at Lowe's. Home to any budget. Home to any possibility. While supplies last, valid 7/21 through 7/27.
Try Taco Bell's new cheesy double beef burritos now. A melty 3-cheese blend with nacho cheese sauce and double the seasoned beef in classic and spicy. At participating stores for a limited time while supplies last. Prices vary, tax extra. Double the seasoned beef as compared to beefy melt burrito.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack. But not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
From the Ingles Studios, this is ESPN Asheville, WPEK, W225CJ Fairview, WMXF Waynesville, and iHeart radio station.
The Sportsocracy.
The ceiling is the roof. Let's make it happen. Let's keep moving forward.
This is SportsCenter.
I'm Doug Brown with 4 civil lawsuits for sexual misconduct still pending against him and a long suspension from the league office, a real possibility. Browns quarterback Deshaun Watson reports to training camp today. NFL disciplinary officer Sue Robinson, a retired federal judge, is still considering if Watson will be suspended under the personal conduct policy. Alabama is overwhelmingly picked by SEC media to win the league title. Georgia is the defending national champ. And ESPN's Robert Griffin III says their biggest competition comes from much farther away.
I think it'll be USC. USC and Lincoln Riley and the transfer portal Trojans, they've done an unbelievable job of reworking their roster. And I think it's going to be a very interesting case study to see how they do this year, because if they play well and win a national title, every coach in the country is going to change their approach to the portal.
RG3 on First Take. According to court records obtained by ESPN, Rays shortstop Wander Franco had more than $650,000 of jewelry stolen in June.
Keyshawn, J. Will, and Max.
Like I tell you about James Winston, you throw a goldfish into the ocean and he grows really, really big, because sometimes environment matters. He was in a toxic environment in Tampa.
Get more from the guys Monday morning at 6 Eastern on ESPN Radio and on ESPN2.
Now, your chance to win $1,000. Just enter this nationwide keyword on our website, Bills. That's Bills. Enter it now.
Log on to ESPNABL.com.
He's a degenerate gambler.
You are a smelly pirate hooker.
And he's cheaper than oxygen.
He's useless.
But somehow, they make it work. Jeremy Greene, Tank Spencer. There's no holding back in the Sportsocracy. Presented by Ingles Supermarkets and Fred Anderson Nissan of Asheville.
And we are here in the Ingles studio on a Friday afternoon. ESPN Asheville 92.9 FM, 880 AM, and 1400. The Sportsocracy, heard everywhere on the iHeart Radio app. And Jimmy Garoppolo. What's going to happen with Jimmy G?
I'm so tired of this topic.
I know.
And it seems like a new wrinkle of this comes out every single day.
Mm-hmm.
Now the news is that 5 teams have reached out to the San Francisco 49ers to figure out what Jimmy Garoppolo's availability is and what it would take.
And those 5 teams are?
I only know one definitively. The Atlanta Falcons are definitively one.
Mm-hmm.
I can't help but think Cleveland has called because they're the only team that can take all of the salary. You shouldn't, but you could.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to assume Seattle is one of them. Then the other 2 are anybody's guess.
Yeah. It's not the Carolina Panthers.
No. Please, God, don't add another quarterback to that.
To Baker Mayfield, Sam Darnold, P.J. Walker.
I think the Seattle thing is more realistic than people think.
Yeah.
That's still the one that makes the most sense. And I did some digging. It would not be that unheard of for them to ship Jimmy Garoppolo to a team in the division.
Okay.
It's happened twice before.
Okay.
Drew Bledsoe.
Mm-hmm.
The Patriots sent him to the Bills.
Mm-hmm.
They got a 2003 first-round pick. And the Eagles sent Donovan McNabb to the Commanders, got a second-round pick and a fourth-round pick. I think that's what it would cost for Garoppolo.
Second round and a fourth round?
That's what I think it would cost. This is not going to be Baker Mayfield, just so we're clear.
No.
They're not giving him up for a conditional fifth-round pick.
And they shouldn't. They shouldn't do that.
Because he's not a toxic member of this franchise.
Right. Unlike Baker Mayfield, Jimmy Garoppolo still can provide value to the franchise that he's currently with. If you can't find a deal, then I feel like, maybe we can restructure that contract or something. We can figure something out to make you happy, and you can stick around, and you can be either the backup to Trey Lance, or we can have a full-on competition again. I still don't feel like that's out the window.
It's out the window. Toothpaste cannot go back in the tube, no matter how hard you try. But the question this raised for us is, all right, let's say these teams did make the move on Jimmy Garoppolo.
Mm-hmm.
What would it really change?
Well, in terms of the Atlanta Falcons, I'm going to say this as vehemently as I can. Not a damn thing.
I don't agree with you.
I just don't see
I
it.
don't think it's necessarily a positive.
Well, I mean, look. Yesterday it was said twice in the YouTube comments. Jonathan Welch said it once, and Stephen Tao said it the other time, that if Jimmy Garoppolo were to go to the Atlanta Falcons, this is a playoff team.
No,
you guys are drunk.
That's just not true.
Flat out drunk.
But now here's what it will change. Because it changes more for Atlanta than it changes for anybody else.
Mm-hmm.
And yes, I include Cleveland in that. Because I firmly don't believe that you're getting a year on Deshaun Watson. If that came out, okay, then we'd have to revisit. At this point, I think that ship has sailed.
Mm-hmm.
So chalk it up to 8. Cleveland's winning 5 of those first 8 with Jacoby Brissett, with Case Keenum, with Tank Spencer. It doesn't matter who plays quarterback. They're winning 5 of those first 8 games.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's the Jets and the Panthers. I think they play the Seahawks or somebody terrible over the course of time. The difference with Atlanta, and I at least vaguely understand where they were headed with this. You look at their schedule, you have to go to Seattle, 3rd week of the season.
Mm-hmm.
You kick off with New Orleans and L.A. You're not winning either of those 2 games anyway. I don't care who your quarterback is. I don't care if you find some way to go into a time machine and bring back 25-year-old Michael Vick. You're not winning those 2 games. Then you play Seattle. With Garoppolo, you win. Mariota or Desmond Ridder, whichever one.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to lose that game.
Mm-hmm.
There's a 1-game difference. Then you go Browns, Bucks, 49ers, Bengals. I don't care who your quarterback is.
Right.
You're 1-6, no matter who your quarterback is. That's where it starts to kind of change. They play the Panthers twice, the Chargers, Bears, Commanders, Steelers.
Mm-hmm.
I could see them winning 5 of those games with Jimmy Garoppolo.
Really?
I can.
Jimmy Garoppolo makes the Atlanta Falcons better than the Carolina Panthers?
You get Baker Mayfield, I have Drake London and Kyle Pitts.
Mm-hmm.
How on earth are you planning on stopping me? I'm not saying they're going to be
defense.
good defensive.
My offense doesn't go out there to stop your offense.
You're not stopping that.
Really?
You're not stopping that. I'm telling you. Yeah, because that's one of the things that, as I looked at this further, that's going to be difficult. Now, I would say you probably split those 2. I would say at that point, those 2 teams are very equitable to one another. But you probably get the one in Atlanta. They'll get the one in Charlotte. You still lose to the Chargers. You get the Bears at home, which you probably would win anyway.
Mm-hmm.
You certainly would win with Garoppolo.
Mm-hmm.
You get the Steelers in Atlanta. I think you could win that with Garoppolo. You have no shot with Marcus Mariota. So basically what I'm saying is I could see a 3, 4, 5 game movement with him. Still, best case scenario, you're 7-10.
Mm-hmm.
Best case. Do you really want to do that? Is that really that's the thing. When I watch teams do this, if it makes you a playoff team, I get it. I don't love it. I don't love making any movement that doesn't actually make you a contender.
That's
because you're setting money on fire.
That's where, to me, Cleveland comes into play. If they find out that they don't have Deshaun, maybe you make that move because you've got a chance. You've still got a chance to make some noise in the playoffs if you have anything other than Jacoby Brissett at quarterback. You're gonna have an outside shot anyway with Jacoby.
I just don't think it's that big of a difference. All right, let's devil's advocate. Deshaun's not allowed to play a game all year.
Mm-hmm.
You start at the Panthers, Jets, Steelers, Falcons. It's 4 wins. I do not care who your quarterback is.
Mm-hmm.
I don't care. From there, who do you win? What of these games do you win with Jimmy Garoppolo that you would not win with Jacoby Brissett? Chargers, Patriots, both in Cleveland.
Patriots.
You're not beating the Chargers anyway, and you'd beat the Patriots whether you have Jimmy Garoppolo or Jacoby Brissett. I don't care.
Okay.
They can't keep up with you. At the Ravens, you're losing that game regardless.
Mm-hmm.
Against the Bengals, you're losing that game regardless. At the Dolphins, okay, that one's worth talking about. At the Bills, losing that anyway. Buccaneers in Cleveland, losing that anyway. At the Texans, winning that anyway.
Mm-hmm.
At the Bengals, losing that anyway. Ravens, Saints, Commanders, Steelers. Where's the game that this is any different? And you're setting $25 million on fire. I don't see it. I don't understand the premise of this. This is a quarterback that does not know this system, and the next person that I hear say Kevin Stefanski's system, well, it's so similar to Kyle Shanahan. A, no, it's not. B, terminology is completely different. C, he has no depth of knowledge of anybody on this team.
Mm-hmm.
So he's coming in as blind as you can possibly come in. Jacoby Brissett's been here for many months now.
Mm-hmm.
Had the playbook for a good while. I don't see it being any different. I don't think you're a Super Bowl contender with Garoppolo. I don't think you're a Super Bowl contender with Jacoby Brissett. I don't really think you're one with Deshaun Watson. So what's the point? What is the point? Yeah, you've already signed this ridiculous, fully guaranteed deal with a quarterback that you have no idea when he will actually show up. Now you can push this $25 million to a year from now, where you can soup this team up and probably retain Kareem Hunt, add another receiver, keep some of your young players. Why would I want to set this money on fire?
And how much of that is the San Francisco 49ers going to eat, though? They're going to eat something. No, nobody's taking on the full 25.
And this is where I think that Baker thing is clouding your judgment on this.
Mm-hmm.
If I'm San Francisco, why would I eat it? Why am I eating any of this deal? I don't have to. He's shown that he'll be the good little soldier. I got 1 year left of him.
Mm-hmm.
He'll walk out the door in a year. If you're not going to give me what I want, why do I not just let him walk out the door? Because the compensation formula for him, if he signs somewhere else, they're going to get a 4th-round pick for him at worst.
Okay.
I'm not taking less than that. To get it a year early, I don't care. And I'm not eating much money to get it a year early.
Mm-hmm.
That's just the discrepancy between Baker and Jimmy. Having Baker in the room is toxic. That relationship had soured. This is the breakup where, we tried to live in the same house, and she set my bed on fire with me in it. Jimmy, it's, we sleep in other rooms. We barely ever see each other.
Mm-hmm.
And when we figure something out, we'll figure something out. But neither one of us in a rush. And that's the discrepancy.
Okay.
With Atlanta, it changes your win total. I get that. You're still not a playoff contender.
No, and Jonathan said it again in the comments that Jimmy G would make Atlanta better than the New Orleans Saints.
I don't agree with you. I think people undervalue how bad this defense is.
Mm-hmm.
All right, you got Casey Hayward and A.J. Terrell. Who's the best pass rusher on this team? I want you to think about that schedule I just said for Atlanta and realize how many good quarterbacks on that, and you're not going to be able to get close to one of them.
I hear no lies. I mean, would you bank it a lot on Lorenzo Carter?
That you shouldn't.
Ooh. I mean, I get that he had a good, last 4 weeks of the season. He had like 10 sacks or something in the last 4 weeks of the season last year.
He was fine.
Yay. But that doesn't give you a legitimate pass rush unless you're counting on Arnold Ebiketie to come in and immediately
Which
be
is an
impact.
error in judgment.
Right.
He still has to learn to play the position you're going to ask him to play.
Mm-hmm.
Because there were teams that valued him playing 3 separate positions in this league. Troy Anderson.
I just don't
He was
see
running
how
back 2 years
anybody
ago.
can look at these two teams in Atlanta and New Orleans and go, yeah, they're close.
They're not even in the ballpark.
That Atlanta's just a quarterback, just dare I say, mediocre quarterback away.
Now, it's ironic you said New Orleans.
Mm-hmm.
Because after the break, there is a potential that something I said could be wrong, and it has to do with the New Orleans Saints.
Are you going to admit that you could be wrong?
No, because it hasn't happened yet.
No.
But I didn't entertain the possibility of, that is still a thing that could happen.
Okay. We'll talk about that up next, right here on ESPN Asheville.
This is your time saver traffic on the new ESPN Asheville.
Traffic slowing 240 westbound between Charlotte Street and Montford Avenue. 26 westbound is stop and go between Hendersonville Road and the Blue Ridge Parkway. 26 eastbound slows approaching Brevard Road and continues in pockets to Airport Road. Future 26 eastbound in Madison County near Mars Hill, an incident prior to exit 9 causing congestion. 40 westbound slow between 26-240 split Malfunction Junction and George's Branch Road. Again, 40 westbound delays near NC 215. Near Avery Creek, Boulevard Road north and southbound approaching Long Shoals Road is slow, and Boulevard Road north and southbound slow between Clayton Road and the Blue Ridge Parkway. Hendersonville Road northbound stop and go between the Arden area and Long Shoals Road. Sweeten Creek Road north and southbound approaching Mills Gap Road slowing. I'm Lee Benfield with your Time Saver Traffic.
This report is sponsored by Taco Bell. Try Taco Bell's new cheesy double beef burritos now. A melty 3-cheese blend with nacho cheese sauce and double the seasoned beef in classic and spicy. At participating stores for a limited time while supplies last. Prices vary, tax extra. Double the seasoned beef as compared to beefy melt burrito.
Real people are getting real and lasting pain relief at QC Kinetics.
Who would have thought that I would be in better shape now than after I got out of the Marines at 22? It's great to be active again.
I've played 36 holes multiple days in a row without pain. Everything is great.
Are you tired of living with chronic joint pain? QC Kinetics uses cutting-edge regenerative medicine to restore and repair damaged tissue, natural healing agents from your own body, so your body can heal itself the way it was designed, with no pain pills, no steroids, no drugs, and no downtime.
It was super successful, and I recommend everyone seek out QC Kinetics as an alternative to surgery.
Thanks to QC Kinetics, quality of life is just a lot better.
Definitely changed my life.
Call now to see if regenerative medicine could be the answer you've been looking for. The local medical professionals at QC Kinetics have proven protocols that can give you lasting relief now, and the consultation is free.
Call QC Kinetics, 828-333-9517. That's 828-333-9517. 828-333-9517.
Ray Magliozzi here for eBay Motors. So you have to drive 300 miles to your cousin's wedding. Okay, so it's his fourth. But you know what they say, fourth time's the charm. Well, here's the problem. Your tires are as bald as I am. But lucky for you, eBay Motors has tires for just about every make and model. Plus wheels, lug nuts, jack stands, and more. 122 million parts. Do they have tissues? Oh, good, because I'm definitely a crier. Get the right parts at the right prices. eBay Motors. Let's ride.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Everyone's heard about the housing market and this being the best time to sell a house in years. But the same thing applies to cars. Whether you're looking to buy a car, trade in, or sell that car in the driveway collecting dust, Fred Anderson Nissan of Asheville wants to buy your car. They have 2 on-site managers that work with Kelley Blue Book to give you top dollar for your vehicle. You can even have your car appraised instantly at AndersonNissan.com. Stop in and visit them today at 629 Brevard Road in Asheville or call them at 828-365-1663.
At Ingles, whether we're celebrating Friday night rivals, televising college basketball games, bringing the Fan Fest to semi-pro soccer, or taking you out to the ball game at your minor league park, it's all in the bag. Ingles, low prices, love the savings.
The Sportsocracy. Ice up, son. Ice up.
Back here in the Sportsocracy on ESPN Asheville, I'm Tank Spencer. He's Jeremy Greene. And what about the New Orleans Saints?
I feel like with camp starting, the Saints have to be really honest with themselves. I've long said that's the place that made the most sense to me. Because I don't believe in Andrew Dalton in the least.
Mm-hmm.
If you get your honest look at Jameis Winston with camp starting, and you go, there is even a modicum of a chance that he's not ready to go, I probably make the move.
Mm-hmm.
Because if I have Andy Dalton with the Saints as opposed to Jimmy Garoppolo, now you're talking about a team that this could change a lot. First 6 weeks of the season, you play the Bucs in New Orleans.
Mm-hmm.
In New Orleans with Jameis or Jimmy Garoppolo, I would say you beat Tampa Bay.
Okay.
Just solely because you keep doing it. So with Andy Dalton, I doubt it. You play the Vikings. If you've got Andy Dalton, they've got Kirk Cousins, Justin Jefferson, Dalvin Cook. I don't love your chances there. Jimmy Garoppolo, you're going to win that. At the Cardinals, first week that DeAndre Hopkins comes back, you're going to have to try to go blow for blow with Kyler, Marquise Hollywood Brown, and DeAndre Hopkins. With Andrew Dalton. I don't love that. I'm not going to say you would definitely lose it, and then you get the Raiders the next week. That's 4 games in your first 8, if something was not right with Jameis Winston, that I could see being pivotable, where you would win it one way, you wouldn't win it the other.
Have you heard rumors that he's not doing well? Or
I mean, you hear different things. People that see him go, he's going to be fine. If you have any doubt that that's true, now I would be picking up the phone. Now I would be saying, okay, that 4th-round pick you're looking to get as a comp pick 2 years from now, we'll give it to you right now. You're going to eat some of that contract, but we'll take one of your problems. He'll be on this roster. He will be our safety net. He will be our backup. Because I could see him fitting into that scheme of just don't turn the ball over. That's all I need you to do. It also gives you a safety net if Jameis reverts back to bad Jameis. It gives you a safety net. Because to me, I don't understand the hate on New Orleans. I don't get it. The defense is really good. I need a quarterback that's not going to turn the ball over. And I don't really care how much it costs me. They're in cap hell anyway, so they're moving things around, kicking cans down the road. They're one of the teams that I look at and go, I don't know how you're doing this. It's some Mr. Wizard voodoo formula that you're somehow getting under the cap every year. You'll figure it out.
2 words, voidable years.
Taysom Hill. That's the 2 words that would scare me to death.
Right.
There is a path where he could end up playing quarterback, and I don't want that in any way.
I don't feel like there's a path to that. I feel like they've already seen it. They know it. We know it. Everybody knows it. And
you're undervaluing how defensive this coaching staff is. Because then you become heavily run-oriented. Do I think it's going to happen? No.
No.
I want as many safeguards to keep that from happening as humanly possible.
And if Jameis is going to go back to being 30 interception guy, then okay.
And what I said,
I don't feel like that's going to happen.
What I said that I'm willing to admit that I could be wrong. If there is an injury with Jameis Winston, I have said this misnomer that teams lose a quarterback in the preseason and then scramble like, oh, we have to do something immediately. It just doesn't tend to happen. Because every time it has happened, it's gone horribly. But if you do it now with an injury that you know is existing, this is not you get hurt in the preseason 3 weeks before the start of the season. That's a fool's errand. All that is doing is setting an expectation that you have no shot of actually hitting. Think about how many quarterbacks we've seen go into a system, be it mid-year, late in the preseason, and halfway through the year you're going, you don't even know the playbook. And it's abundantly obvious. That's the reason that I don't put any stock into somebody gets hurt week 2 of the preseason, and now we have to make a move on Jimmy Garoppolo. I don't buy that. I think the market is what it's going to be. It's just a question of what team has an actual potential need that you could exploit. You'll get more from Seattle, and you would have to because they play in your division. But the fact that there's been no movement on that, I mean, Seattle's needed a quarterback for 6 months. This is not new information. This didn't just fall out of the sky. I feel like if they were going to come to that price, they already would have.
I would agree with that. It doesn't make a whole lot of sense for them not to have made a move. So to me, that tells me they're probably not going to make a move.
And it tells me that they're planning on living by the Jeremy Greene doctrine, which is what I'm going to call this from now on. If you're going to be bad, bad.
Right.
Brutal. Just boldly, beautifully bad.
Right. I mean, if I needed a quarterback, I'm not looking at the 1-year stopgap of Jimmy Garoppolo. The only team, again, to me, that makes sense to do that in a stopgap fashion would be Cleveland. Because I feel like they can be more of a contender than they already are. I get the schedule. We already went over that. It is what it is. I still feel like that's way easier sold then, hey, Jacoby Brissett's going to be our quarterback for this year.
And something that I want to touch on, it was said in the YouTube comments, he's not even going to be cleared to practice or play until mid-August. I don't care when he's cleared to play. I need him to know this playbook.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I'm after. And if you look at I'll use Seattle, they're in the same boat as Atlanta. Could you win a few more games with Jimmy as opposed to Drew Lock or Geno Smith? Yeah. Yeah, you could.
Mm-hmm.
There's a game with the Lions that I fully believe you would win with him and you will lose without him. But do you really want to do that? What does it make you feel better to go 6-11 as opposed to going 3-14? You're still horrible either way.
Mm-hmm. Just
genuinely god-awful bad. And nothing changes that. My hope is that Seattle's looking around going, yeah, this is not going to be a banner year for ticket sales or merch.
Mm-hmm.
But hopefully a year from now it will be.
Yeah. Where will Jimmy Garoppolo land? We don't know.
Somewhere.
Nobody
now,
knows.
Please, immediately. Get it done this weekend. We'll talk about it Monday, and then we'll be done.
I would love for all of this to wrap itself up.
Frankly,
so we can
if we could go that 4:30 Friday afternoon news dump, Jimmy Garoppolo traded, Deshaun Watson suspension done. What else are we tired of talking about? Kevin Durant, let's get him in this too.
Yeah, let's wrap it all up today.
Put it in a nice little package. We'll marinate on it over the weekend. We'll have one great big explosion extravaganza on Monday. Be done.
Yeah, and then we can go full on overdrive into predictions, prognostications for the upcoming football seasons, both in college and in the NFL. Fantasy football on the radar in full. Because I've already had 3 drafts. How many have you had? I know you've had at least one because we had one together.
One that I slept through.
So you didn't even show up.
Yeah, I slept through a lot of that. There's no doubloons in there.
And I thought about texting you because there is supposed to be a rule amongst fantasy football brothers is friends don't let friends auto draft. But there again,
you can break that rule with me as long as there's not money on it. If there's money on it, you better be sending paramedics to my house,
right?
Because there is something horribly wrong.
Because you ended up auto drafting and you were picking like right ahead of me,
and my team was actually pretty good.
So it's like I'm not gonna poke that bear,
and my team wound up being pretty good.
Yeah,
our first super chat of the day comes from Tyler Cunningham, New Orleans Saints fan. Jimmy G coming to New Orleans would be scary on both sides of the ball. People can't explain why we're bad without mentioning Jameis, which irks me.
Mm-hmm.
It does me too.
Well, it's the only drawback you have.
Well, it's the overreaction to Sean Payton because people don't. There's this myth that teams can never shift what they are. And that was a very offensive team with Sean Payton. That's not what this is going to be. You have to mentally chalk up with New Orleans. The days of you throwing it 45 times, I don't care who your quarterback is. As long as Dennis Allen's the one calling the shots, that's done. That is not happening again. So you overvalue how important quarterback is. I would argue your defense and Alvin Kamara are more important to that team to play the way they want to than any quarterback could possibly be.
Mm-hmm.
So you give me game manager extraordinaire to sit behind turnover machine Jameis Winston, which he can be.
He can be.
He has much more arm talent. But now if I'm New Orleans, I'm looking at it going, well, I'm not going to get burned anyway. And then they become one of the safest teams to make the playoffs in the league.
But then you make it sound like they're going to turn into this completely conservative, ground and pound team. I don't buy that at all.
You should.
Why?
Dennis
You just
Allen.
went out and you have 3
Rookie.
excellent wide receivers.
You have 2, but
2.
Chris Olave and Michael Thomas. Oh, Jarvis Landry, the slot monster?
Yeah.
He's fine. You don't know you have zero idea what Michael Thomas is coming back. But I mean, you want to be pass heavy, aired out 40 times a game with Dennis Allen and Jameis Winston and that defense. I don't have to.
Mm-hmm.
See, to me, that's what stupid teams do. Well, we invested money in receivers, so now we have to just throw it all over the yard. Yeah, it's dumb. Enjoy being 6-11.
Okay.
Or you be smart, lean on your defense, which is the best part of this team.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think anybody with an IQ above salad dressing would argue with me about that. So you lean on the defense, which is what your coach does, and you learn on the fly. You get Jameis Winston acclimated to not being I could fit it in that hole. And it closes, and it's an interception going back the other way.
Mm-hmm.
Now, will that progress over time? Yeah, it will. I'm not saying they're going to become the Baltimore Ravens. I'm saying that they're going to be – they're going to lean more on the run game than they ever did in the past. This is not going to look like a Sean Payton New Orleans Saints team, and it shouldn't.
Mm-hmm. You are in the Sportsocracy here on ESPN Asheville. Coming up next, we'll get weird.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
Hot temperatures for us here this weekend. Highs expected to be in the 90s both Saturday and Sunday. Partly cloudy skies for us here tonight. Some patchy fog late, mid-60s. Morning fog Saturday. Otherwise, mostly sunny and very hot. All the way up into the low 90s tomorrow afternoon. Mix of clouds and sun. Hot and humid Sunday. Straight late-day shower storm possible low 90s. Better storm chances Monday. I'm meteorologist Ken Boone at the Weather Channel.
This is your time saver traffic on the new ESPN Asheville.
Traffic slowing 240 westbound between Charlotte Street and Montford Avenue. 26 westbound is crawling between Fanning Bridge Road and the Blue Ridge Parkway. 26 eastbound slow between Brevard Road and Airport Road. 40 westbound delays between the 26-240 split, Malfunction Junction, and George's Branch Road. Again, 40 westbound stop and go between Newfound Road and NC 215. Sweeten Creek Road, north and southbound, approaching Mills Gap Road, stop and go. Hendersonville Road, northbound, stop and go between the Arden area and Long Shoals Road. Near Avery Creek, Brevard Road, north and southbound, approaching Long Shoals Road, stop and go. Again, Brevard Road, northbound, slow between Clayton Road and the Blue Ridge Parkway near the NC Arboretum. I'm Lyndon Field with your Time Saver Traffic.
This report is sponsored by Wendy's Hot and Crispy Fries. Wendy's knows everyone hates cold and soggy fries, so they changed theirs to serve them up hot and crispy all day, every day, using only natural cut skin-on fries, prepared to golden goodness and perfectly sprinkled with sea salt. Try Wendy's Hot and Crispy Fries today at participating U.S. Wendy's.
iHeartRadio Earth is here with little tips for a healthier planet. Save money on gas this summer by observing the speed limit. Gas mileage usually decreases rapidly at speeds above 50 miles per hour, and on average, each 5 miles per hour you drive over 50 miles per hour is like paying an additional 30 cents per gallon for gas. Brought to you by iHeartRadio Earth and the National Environmental Education Foundation. To find more tips for smarter, sustainable living or to take action in your own community, go to iHeartRadio.com/earth.
Hi, I'm Chad Greenway. After retiring from the NFL, I've embraced my new role coaching my kids in their youth sports. Our Youth Basketball Association made the decision to use trusted coaches to train, screen, and educate all of our basketball coaches. Visit trustedcoaches.org to learn more. I'm a trusted coach. Are you?
This summer on Audible, the stars are out. John Hamm, Kate Mara in The Big Lie.
These people want to destroy our way of life.
Kerry Washington, Lawrence Fishburne in The Prophecy.
Whatever you think is happening, it is not that.
Dominic Monaghan in Moriarty, The Devil's Game.
Dark problems require dark tools.
The biggest stories, the brightest stars, all summer long only on Audible. Go to audible.com/summer.
Rogue Combat Club, Asheville's home for comprehensive martial arts training, has a goal for our community, one that's stronger, more fit, and unwavers in its support of one another. Rogue Combat Club's instructors have competed at the highest levels and offer classes for everyone from young children to adults in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, Muay Thai, and wrestling. Rogue Combat Club classes can help you boost your self-confidence and self-defense skills while weeding out the egos and intimidation found at other gyms. Join today at roguecombatclub.com.
I believe real estate isn't about properties. It's about people. I am Clarissa Marshall with eXp Realty, serving all of Western North Carolina. Navigating the home buying and selling journey can feel overwhelming at times, and that's why having an agent who cares about you and your needs is key. I'm a native of Western North Carolina, and I close over a home a week. I'm an expert in the market, pricing my sellers correctly to net you the most money, and working as a skilled negotiator for my buyers. Please give me a call today at 828-774-6343 to set up a complimentary market analysis.
On the weird scale, there's Vegas, there's Florida, and there's Asheville. Let's get weird, Asheville.
And yes, back here in the Ingles Studio, I'm Tank Spencer. He's Jeremy Greene. Time to get weird. And Jeremy, this is probably the weirdest gator attack story I think I've ever heard.
Don't mess with gators. It's bad.
It's not a good idea. But the other day, a 43-year-old man was found missing an arm, and he was also naked. He was completely stark raving naked. He was found at the Manatee Fish Camp in Mayaca City, wherever that is, in Florida. And this guy had been attacked by an alligator, had his arm basically ripped off. And then the story is that he spent several days trying to get out of the woods from wherever he had been attacked at. But he was found at this Manatee Fish Camp by a passerby who said, I didn't know if he was alive or dead when I first came upon him. It was just a naked guy laying in the weeds. And then I noticed he doesn't have a right arm. It's completely gone. Now, this guy had to have his arm, what was left of it, completely amputated up to the shoulder. There is no word on... I mean, did the gator rip his clothes off? That's a freaky gator. It's a freaky gator. Stop doing weird things, gators.
Don't be weird, gator.
I get you want to have a meal, you want to have a little snack, a little human right arm may not be that bad of an idea, but you don't have to degrade the guy.
Yeah, listen, gator, don't do crimes.
The trapper was dispatched to the area to locate the gator. They are still investigating what led up to the gator bite. I don't know. Was the guy trying to seduce the gator? Did he get naked voluntarily? Or was this just the gator was getting a little randy? I don't know.
That is not a way to keep an alligator from attacking you.
That's right.
My story is from West Parley in the United Kingdom.
West Parley.
It's a parish. The West Parley Parish Council decided that they wanted to spruce up the front of their building, and they had a slew of flower beds. So they replaced some of the flowers, and things started to bloom, and it's been all nice over the spring. Well, a driver-by noticed that there was a strange plant in these flower beds. It was marijuana. It has apparently been growing here for several months, and no one noticed it.
We've got bush.
It's in front of a government building, and the weirdest part is they were alerted to this on Monday. There's a social media post from yesterday where it's still there.
Oh.
Go take care of your crimes. You have been caught growing the things. Just get rid of it. How does no one notice that? I even know what that is.
I was going to say, who really cares? Who really looks at shrubbery?
It's in front of a government building. It's very obvious. There's these beautiful pink flowers and some little white accent flowers, and then a pot plant right in the middle just growing everywhere.
Don't do crimes. Although that is funny.
Oh, 100%.
That's
whoever
funny.
did that, good for you.
Was it actually marijuana, or was this like the neutered marijuana, the CBD?
No. This. Well, I mean, without testing it, there's no way to know that. But
right.
It looks as though it is marijuana. It's an aggressive strategy.
Mm-hmm.
I can only ask, was the person that planted this the same person that voted for Vanderbilt to win the SEC? Because that takes a pair of stones that very few people have.
It does. It takes a lot of drugs to believe things like that. Which makes me ask questions about Jonathan Welch, believing that Jimmy Garoppolo is going to make. Never mind. He's congressional candidate. We don't need to.
That will last forever for you.
Yeah, I want to see, Jonathan, if that'll wind up on your questionnaire for your candidacy.
You should
for
totally
Congress.
do that. Run on that platform. Do it at a congressional meeting, like one of those debate. That's the word I was looking for. I am running on the platform that the Atlanta Falcons would be better with Jimmy Garoppolo than the New Orleans Saints.
The football season right around the corner. As Jeremy said, we were just 2 weeks away from the Hall of Fame game, the kickoff of the preseason. And, of course, it is hot and heavy right now in the fantasy football world as teams or owners are getting ready with their drafts. Rookie drafts have been taking place. I mean, heck, we've been doing rookie drafts since the day after the NFL draft.
Which is far too soon. That is way too early.
Absolutely. And everybody has been hyped on the number one guy in the rookie class as far as fantasy football is concerned, and it's none other than Jeremy's new running back, Breece Hall.
Future star Hall of Famer for the 2027 Super Bowl champion, J.E.G.S. Jets.
Look, since we're talking over-unders, overvalued, undervalued, I'm going to go ahead and say that he's my overvalued of this offseason, the entire offseason. The fact that Breece Hall is the number one guy in rookie drafts, I don't feel like it should be as cut and dry as that.
Why?
Because I'm just not certain what his load is going to be. I still believe in Michael Carter. And I get that Breece Hall is more talented than Michael Carter. I no doubt about it. But do you think that he's going to come in and be a workhorse running back immediately for the Jets? You do.
Let me tell you a little stat.
Okay.
And this is one of those lesser used metrics. It's called backcast.
Mm-hmm.
All right. It basically gives you a mathematical number of what a running back by percentage will do over the average running back.
Okay.
Breece Hall's backcast score was plus 149%. Do you know how many running backs have ever scored higher on that scale than that?
No.
It's 3. Jonathan Taylor, Ricky Williams, and Saquon Barkley. That's it.
Mm-hmm.
There's never been one higher, and they've used this for 30 years. He is ridiculously talented. Now, is he going to get the no doubt 300 touches in his rookie year? I don't know. But you're not drafting him that way. I mean, he's going in the fourth, fifth round.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have his ADP pulled up in front of me. But, I mean, I'm fine with that. Here would be my question. For a player to be overvalued, there has to be somebody going behind them that you feel tremendously wonderful about.
Mm-hmm.
Who is that guy?
James Cook.
Stop.
It's James Cook.
By the way, backcast, I had him as the most overrated running back in this class, which I don't agree with, and it doesn't fit my narrative, so I wasn't going to say it until you said that name.
James Cook is the most overrated?
In this draft class,
In this draft class?
His was minus 64% or something
Mm-hmm.
like that, which means he will be a below average NFL running back.
Right.
According to that, of which I don't agree.
I feel like, I don't know. I could be completely
and
wrong.
And that's going to be
this.
completely split. That's one backfield that I will tell you right now, best case scenario, you're 50-50 split. He ain't coming out on the high side of it. I can promise you that.
Yeah.
If he hits 30% of the workload, I won't be shocked in the least. Mm-hmm. And you forget that Duke Johnson is there too. There are 3 running backs in that backfield that are going to carry the water.
Mm-hmm.
If you're telling me right now you take James Cook ahead of Breece Hall, I think you've been hanging out with a guy planting bushes in the United Kingdom.
Well, see, this is why I have this is why I opted out of the rookie draft. At least the first round, anyway. I ended up with the second pick, and I was like, you know what? I don't want to make this decision. I got enough wide receivers. I don't need a wide receiver, and I'm going to make the wrong call.
As of right now, Breece Hall's going 41, according to Fantasy Pros, which puts him in the back end of the 4th round. The 3 running backs directly succeeding him are Travis Etienne, Elijah Mitchell, and J.K. Dobbins. And I would take Dobbins ahead of him. The other 2 are not even close.
Yeah, see, I would take all of them before Breece Hall.
The thought on Elijah Mitchell is I'm really starting to worry that you actually might be legally intoxicated.
Why?
They have 6 running backs.
I don't care.
You should.
They've had 6 running backs.
How many times has San Francisco ever had a running back finish in the top 20 of running back scoring? Since Kyle Shanahan's been there.
Hell, I don't know.
Never. It's never happened, not one time. He's going as the 23rd running back. So basically, you're taking him on the highest side of any running back in this system ever. Plus, you're competing with Deebo Samuel. Plus, you're competing with Price out of LSU. Trey Sermon's still legally alive. Yes, he was in the doghouse last year, but still used a 3rd-round pick on him. 4th-round pick, whichever one. That's insane to me. The Jets have 2 running backs. It's Breece Hall, it's Michael Carter, and they are going to run a ton.
But I don't feel like any of that has ever been scheme dependent. It's not – these guys aren't getting the tote because of the scheme. Every year they have injuries. in the running back room. It was
Why
gonna
could
be,
that possibly be?
It was going to be Raheem Mostert. He was going to be the guy,
Mm-hmm.
and then he got hurt. And then it was going to be who was the running back last year?
Trey Sermon, Jeff Wilson.
Jeff Wilson. I think it was going to be Jeff Wilson. And then he got hurt. And then Trey Sermon was not good.
The thing that's
And
blowing
Elijah
my
Mitchell
mind is
came
that
out
you're
of
not
nowhere.
understanding that Elijah Mitchell got hurt last year, too.
I know, that's what I'm saying. But still, he was almost
He was
1,000-yard back last year.
He was fine.
Despite the fact that he got injured and he missed time.
In terms of talent, they're not even close. I'm just telling you straight up. Elijah Mitchell and Breece Hall's not even close. Sheer talent. The Jets traded up to get a running back.
Mm-hmm.
That should tell you everything you need to know.
That the Jets are dumb. That they
Just had the best draft probably the last 10 years, so sure. They're dumb. Yeah, you had them as an A-plus, too, but they're dumb.
Of course I did.
Yeah. To me, that one's insane. I thought he would end up going at the top of the third round, and I'm still not convinced that that's not going to happen. I could see a path where he really starts to surge, and I'm trying to find over the last month. I want to say he was in the high 40s about a month ago.
Mm-hmm.
Now he's up to 41 overall. So that might be headed to the place that I thought it was going to go. Now, if he starts going ahead of Josh Jacobs or Antonio Gibson, now I get it.
Mm-hmm.
All right, now we're getting into, okay, this is a little dumb.
Mm-hmm.
But, I mean, would you take Breece Hall or James Conner?
Oh, it'd be Breece Hall.
Yeah, and James Conner's going 10 spots ahead of him.
Which is
So,
ridiculous.
that James Conner's the one at running back for me that is just grossly overvalued.
Absolutely.
He lives hurt. I don't love that team. I can see the workload being insane.
But he scored 20 touchdowns last year.
He didn't mean to. He didn't mean to.
It's the one. It's the one thing that you have.
Now, in terms of a running back that is undervalued, I said one of them that I think is going to be yours.
Mm-hmm.
J.K. Dobbins.
Yeah.
Is that
100%.
your? If you had to pick an undervalued running back,
100%.
He's one of my two.
I have every draft I have done. Every redraft I have done this year, J.K. Dobbins is on my team because for some reason, no one believes it. No one believes that he's going to bounce back from last year's injury and be the guy. You know, he's not going to be as dominant in the pros as he was in college, obviously. But if you didn't see the potential and the little time that we've seen him on the field already, I feel like you're footballing wrong.
The thing that makes me a little bit nervous, and I guess I understand the reticence to go higher than he's going right now. They have 800 running backs on this team.
Mm-hmm.
Between the Gus Bus who's coming back, Mike Davis, Justice Hill is still on this team. I'm not sure that he's ever going to be more than 16 carries a game. And he's going in a range where I think he's good enough to make that work.
Mm-hmm.
But then I look at the guy that I'm actually going to say here, which is Josh Jacobs. I don't know what he did to people on the whole. I have absolutely no idea. He is one of the most inexplicably hated fantasy football players I have ever seen. It's been like 3 years.
Mm-hmm.
Gone over 1,000 yards twice. Got hurt. He's actually been hurt in all 3 years that he's played at some point. And has had 7, 12, and 9 touchdowns. What am I missing? How is he this disaster that's somehow going in the middle to the end of the fourth round?
I don't know.
I don't get it. I see him being on practically every team I draft over the course of this season.
Mm-hmm. Another one that I feel like needs to be in this running back discussion is Miles Sanders. Haven't been in a draft yet where I haven't seen him fall way too far.
But what's way too far?
7th round.
Okay.
And that's insane.
That's probably
right?
too far.
It's insane.
That's probably too far.
If I were seeing him go in the 5th round, it would be one thing. Like, okay, I get it. You're uneasy. You don't know. You know, he's been hurt, all of this.
He never scores.
No.
That's my problem. He never scores.
Right.
So, same stat I said about Josh Jacobs. They came into the league the same year.
Mm-hmm.
Miles Sanders has played 1 full year. He has never gone over 1,000 yards, and he's never scored more than 6 touchdowns in a season. I get why he's pushed down that far. Like Damian Harris. Who would you take first, Damian Harris or Miles Sanders?
Damian Harris.
That's me too.
Not close.
I agree with you. And so it gets into that, all right, so where exactly am I supposed to slot him in?
Mm-hmm.
Like, who is he definitively better than? Is he definitively better than Clyde Edwards-Helaire?
Who, Damian Harris?
No, Miles Sanders. Is he definitively better than Clyde Edwards-Helaire? That's the thing. He's sitting right behind him now.
Mm-hmm.
He's going right in front of Devin Singletary. I would take him ahead of Devin Singletary. I would take him ahead of Kareem Hunt and Tony Pollard. Cordell Patterson. I can't fit. Am I going to do this to people again? Like, am I going to say Cordell Patterson and burn you again? He's in the low 80s. That is insane to me. That team is horrid.
Yeah, but there's also the thought he can't do it again. Last year was a one-hit wonder.
I'm going to say that he can.
This year, he's another year older. He's what, 32 now?
31.
31?
31 with a lot of tread left on the tires.
Oh, I agree.
And there's not really many running backs left in that room.
You are in the Sportsocracy here on ESPN Asheville, 92.9 FM, 880 AM, and 1400.
This is your time-saver traffic on the new ESPN Asheville.
Dragway is Carlin, 26 westbound approaching Hendersonville Road to the Blue Ridge Parkway. 26 eastbound stop and go approaching Brevard Road to Airport Road. 40 westbound delays between the 26-240 split and the Smoky Park Highway. Again, 40 westbound Haywood County stop and go between Georges Branch Road and NC 215. Near Avery Creek, Boulevard Road north and southbound approaching Long Shoals Road, stop and go. Hendersonville Road northbound stop and go between the Arden area and Long Shoals Road. Sweeten Creek Road north and southbound approaching Mills Gap Road, stop and go. I'm Lyndon Fuel with your Time Saver Traffic.
This report is sponsored by Wendy's Hot and Crispy Fries. Wendy's knows everyone hates cold and soggy fries, so they changed theirs to serve them up hot and crispy all day, every day, using only natural cut skin-on fries, prepared to golden goodness and perfectly sprinkled with sea salt. Try Wendy's Hot and Crispy Fries today at participating U.S. Wendy's.
Looking good, Mrs. Dobbs.
The head groundskeeper at Thad's Golf Course just retired.
We need to find someone in the next 2 weeks. Someone with botany and management experience.
He needs a replacement because the greens are already looking a little rough.
Aeration. They need to know it all.
Indeed can help him hire great people fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. You can schedule and conduct virtual interviews all from your employer dashboard. Earn up to $500 in sponsored job credits by interviewing on Indeed. Visit Indeed.com/credit. Terms and conditions apply.
Choosing Sides, F1. A podcast about... But what are we doing here, Lily?
Well, you're in the right place, Michael. I'm Lily Herman, Formula One expert.
And I'm Michael Costa, comedian, and I'm just going to be honest here, complete F1 newbie.
On this inaugural season of Choosing Sides, we're tackling the historic and controversial sport of Formula One race car driving.
Who are these drivers? Rich kids? Daddy issues?
Daddy issues galore. Listen to Choosing Sides F1 on the iHeartRadio app
or wherever you get your podcasts.
Staples has everything you need for school at prices that won't hold you back. Right now, Staples comp books and number 2 pencils are just 50 cents, and 2 pocket paper folders at just 25 cents each. In-store only. Offer ends 8/27, limit 30. Don't send your kids back to school. Send them forward at Staples.
When I finally drove the old car into the grave, I knew there was only one place I was going to go. Fred Anderson Nissan of Asheville, home of the family plan. And yes, they treat you like family. I went in, told them what I was looking for, told them my budget, and in no time, I was signing the paperwork on my certified pre-owned vehicle. They have the area's largest selection on quality pre-owned vehicles and certified Nissans. They go through a 167-point inspection, so you know it's not going to let you down. They gave me the Carfax report, so I know the history of my vehicle. And the Fred Anderson family plan gives me things like oil changes and car washes and loaner cars if I have to have major work done on the car in the future. For me, buying a car has always been an intimidating thought. But the folks at Fred Anderson Nissan of Asheville made it super easy. Don't be like me. Don't wait till the last minute to get a deal done. Go to AndersonNissan.com or stop by the showroom at 629 Brevard Road. And don't forget to mention we sent you from the Sportsocracy and get a $250 bonus on your trade-in at Fred Anderson Nissan of Asheville.
At Ingles, we're all in for summer. Whether you're hitting the trails, hitting the water, or hitting the golf ball, we have everything you need for the perfect picnic, the greatest grill out, and the best beach vacation. We know that the mountains are calling, the open road awaits, and that pool party is ready to rock. So head on over to Ingles and stock up on all the goodies to get you through your summer of freedom. Ingles, low prices, love the savings.
The Sportsocracy.
These guys are a f***ing disgrace.
All right, welcome back into the Sportsocracy on ESPN Asheville. This is a little taste of the fantasy football content that's going to be coming from the Sportsocracy here over the coming weeks.
I think we can officially dub next week Fantasy Football Week.
That's two decisions that have been made today, and I think they're both solid.
Well, we have things to announce. We'll be sprinkling those across all week next week. I think we could officially dub the 4 o'clock hour of next week the Fantasy Football Hour.
There we go. All right, so all your fantasy football content, of course, make the Sportsocracy your destination for all of that, because throughout the season we will have all of your, waiver wires and all that throughout the week, throughout every week. Trades and buys and sells and all that stuff. We will typically only used for first what was the morning show, then what became the happy hour, and now that we have 3 hours here on the radio show, fantasy football going to be much more included in the actual radio program.
And if you're not super fond of that, I just need you to understand. For the next 6 weeks, it's either that or we can break down the NBA Summer League, or we can break down the bullpen for the Washington Nationals. Mm-hmm. I think fantasy football wins that every time.
Indeed it does. And speaking of winning every time, apparently I can't win every time at the daily draft. So
you didn't come close this time. You got absolutely scattered, smothered, covered, diced, and chunked.
I'm not sure I'm not the only one that voted for my haul yesterday in the draft of the the college football coaches.
Well, it wasn't just you, but I'll say it could just be you and people with the last name Spencer.
Yes.
Because you got savaged.
Yes, I did. So Jeremy won yesterday's college football coaches draft with his team of Nick Saban, Lincoln Riley, Brian Kelly, Lane Kiffin, Jimbo Fisher, and James Franklin.
So I feel as though I should be allowed to bypass the number 1 pick and give it to you for a first pick to be named later.
Okay. I'm in. Trade. Done.
Yes! Because I don't want it this time.
Oh, good.
I don't in any way want it. I think I know who you're going to take at 1, and I will be sad to not have him on my team of ultimate sporting party goer people. I didn't know how to finish that.
The biggest sports party animals?
Yes.
The athletes who you would most like to get wasted with.
Yes.
Basically.
In terms of my bachelor party is getting closer. The wedding's been put off like 11 times. So we're going to build the teams for a mythical sports party.
Mythical sports party. So daily draft today, focusing on the athletes we'd like to party with. That'll be coming up after the Sports Center update. Plus, get your questions in, and we will do some call and answer type material coming up in the 5 o'clock hour of the program as well. Here in the Sportsocracy on ESPN Asheville.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
Hot temperatures for us here this weekend. Highs expected to be in the 90s both Saturday and Sunday. Partly cloudy skies for us here tonight. Some patchy fog late, mid-60s. Morning fog Saturday. Otherwise, mostly sunny and very hot. All the way up into the low 90s tomorrow afternoon. Mix of clouds and sun. Hot and humid Sunday. Stray late-day shower storm possible low 90s. Better storm chances Monday. I'm meteorologist Ken Boone at the Weather Channel.
This is your time saver traffic on the new ESPN Asheville.
Dragway's Carlin, 26 westbound approaching Hendersonville Road to the Blue Ridge Parkway. 26 eastbound stop and go approaching Brevard Road to Airport Road. 40 westbound delays between the 26-240 split and the Smoky Park Highway. Again, 40 westbound Haywood County stop and go between Georges Branch Road and NC 215. Near Avery Creek, Boulevard Road north and southbound, approaching Long Shoals Road, stop and go. Hendersonville Road northbound, stop and go between the Arden area and Long Shoals Road. Sweeten Creek Road north and southbound, approaching Mills Gap Road, stop and go. I'm Lyndon Fuel with your Time Saver Traffic.
This report is sponsored by Indeed.com. If summer is heating up your hiring needs, then you need Indeed. Their all-in-one hiring solution makes it easy to attract, interview, and hire candidates all in one place. Sponsor your first job and get hiring today by visiting Indeed.com/credit.
To some, a baby's babbling doesn't mean much, but it does. Especially if there's no babbling at all. Little to no babbling by 12 months or later is just one of the possible signs of autism in children. Learn more at autismspeaks.org. Brought to you by Autism Speaks and the Ad Council.
From the Ingles Studios, this is ESPN Asheville, WPEK, W225CJ Fairview, WMXF Waynesville, and iHeart radio station.
This is SportsCenter.
I'm Doug Brown. New Cleveland quarterback Deshaun Watson reports to training camp today. The team is still waiting on a possible suspension for Watson under the league's personal conduct policy. 4 of the civil lawsuits against Watson for sexual misconduct could go to trial sometime next year. Ravens veterans will report by Tuesday, but quarterback Lamar Jackson is already at the team facility. ESPN's Jeremy Fowler wonders if the Ravens will be able to get a new deal done with Jackson in the wake of the Kyler Murray contract numbers.
From what I've heard, it's like there's a gap in the pay, and it's going to have to be bridged by one of the parties. And right now, it hasn't been. I don't know if there have been enough talks, enough negotiations to even get that far.
Jeremy Fowler on KJ and Max. This is the final year of Jackson's current contract. Novak Djokovic, Roger Federer, Rafa Nadal, and Andy Murray will play together on Team Europe at the Laver Cup competition in September. That 6-man team, captained by Bjorn Borg, will play against a world team captained by John McEnroe.
Think O'Reilly Auto Parts for all of your car care needs. We're close, convenient, and known for our guaranteed everyday low prices and excellent customer service from professional parts people you can trust. Stop by your local O'Reilly Auto Parts today. O'Reilly Auto Parts. Better parts, better prices every day.
If you have it
now, your chance to win $1,000. Just enter this nationwide keyword on our website. Money. That's money. Enter it now.
Log on to ESPNABL.com.
He's a degenerate gambler.
You are a smelly pirate hooker.
And he's cheaper than oxygen.
He's useless.
But somehow, they make it work. Jeremy Greene, Tank Spencer. There's no holding back in the sportsocracy. Presented by Ingles Supermarkets and Fred Anderson Nissan of Asheville.
Now, welcome back into the Sportsocracy on ESPN Asheville, 92.9 FM, 880 AM, and 1400. Just 60 minutes left before the weekend. It
has been a long week.
It has been a
My
very
computer
long
completely melted down overnight, so we had to really had to duct tape it together for one more show.
Right.
So if things look a little different Monday, sorry.
Hope you're riding your way into a fun-filled weekend as we are. No, I mean, Jeremy doesn't have great plans. He's going to be,
I'm going to stop and get a pizza, and then I frankly don't plan on seeing another human until Monday morning.
Passing out on his couch, just hanging out, watching golf or something. I don't know. You can catch up on the Derek Jeter documentary. How about that? You love documentaries.
Number 2. I'm out. Yeah, I'm not watching the baseball.
Really? Really? Me and my wife started watching it last night. I fell asleep during it, but
that's a ringing endorsement.
Yeah.
I started it last night, and next thing I knew,
look, I'm tired. Okay, I'm almost 40, and I'm really tired. So give me a break. What I saw of it was very, very interesting. Story of his life, of his upbringing. I didn't know that as a child he was a guy that he always had one job in mind when he grew up. He always wanted to be the shortstop of the New York Yankees. And it just so happened he ended up getting drafted by the Yankees, and history made itself, basically. It's time to get into the daily draft here on ESPN Asheville. Jeremy has the number 1 overall pick as we come to you here from the Ingles Studios. Ingles Supermarkets. Low prices, love the savings, and number 1 pick in the daily draft has been given to me.
It has. I have passed.
We have
because
a trade.
there are 2 I want. I damn well know exactly who you're going to take. Okay. And I'm sad that he's not going to be at my party.
Mm-hmm.
So the topic for today is, if you were having a bachelor party, mine is getting closer. HWA and I finally going to actually tie the knot.
Mm-hmm.
If you were building your best sports figure bachelor party, who would you invite? I had 2 that I want. I feel like I had to give up the obvious number 1 pick.
Right.
But I'll let you have him.
Well,
he played for your team.
I appreciate it. The number 1 pick overall has to be the NFL's party animal himself. It's Rob Gronkowski. When you have Rob Gronkowski at your party, it doesn't even feel like you actually need a DJ to be there. You just have the the vibe that oozes off of Gronk as the backbeat to the party.
Now, here was my thought on Gronk. I'm sad he's not going to be at my party.
Mm-hmm.
But here's my thought. I feel like Gronk and I are very similar people.
Okay.
And I'm not sure that you can have 2 of those at the same place. Because somebody might die.
Uh-huh.
So you being the more docile character that you are, I figured it would be better for him to come to yours.
Yes.
So it leaves me 2 picks back to back, which means I get to take my 2 favorites. The first one should be very non-surprising to anyone.
Who has a mullet? I'm trying to think. It's Cameron Smith.
No mullet.
It's Cameron Smith.
No mullet. Although he might be in contention for one of the next 2 selections.
Mm-hmm.
It's a fellow West Virginia guy. He's the ultimate. It's Pat McAfee.
Ah.
No doubt. If my first invite, I get to invite anybody from sports and they show up, it's Pat McAfee. He spent many years in West Virginia, and I know what that means. So it's going to be a grand old time. I feel like I've started nicely.
Mm-hmm.
So now I have to take we need an older gent. Me and Pat are about the same age. Need somebody that's a vet, really knows how to get this done, and somebody that will probably steer us to the local Hooters. We're going John Daly.
Oh, John Daly. And he'll probably be willing to pick up the tab for whatever.
Oh, 100%. He's got an endorsement deal with the Owl Restaurant. So I feel pretty good about how he started.
Okay. All right. Good for you. So you've got Pat McAfee and John Daly. The conversation alone.
Oh, absolutely. We're ending up there is no doubt we're ending up barefoot hitting drivers over an interstate. Mm-hmm. And I love that idea.
Okay. All right. I started out with Gronk. And then when you pose this to look, I'm not that big of a partier.
No.
I mean,
no, I'll be really honest with you. I thought there was a possibility that your party would be very low key, just, dudes sipping a little scotch. Maybe
that's what a party with me would look like.
There's not what a party with me would look like.
If you have a bunch of me's in the building, then we're going to sit around. We're going to have a nice little conversation. We're going to sip our cocktails, and, everything's going to be fine. But if you want to have like that legendary bachelor party experience, I need to kick things up a notch. I need to have wild cards at this party. I started with Rob Gronkowski, which I feel like that's a given. He's going to come in and just set the world on fire. He's probably going to bring all of the women as well.
Correct.
I need somebody that's going to be a little dangerous. If I'm going to go all out, I want to get in. Let's do some weird stuff. Let's do some things that I don't normally do. So my number 2 pick is none other than Conor McGregor. I want to have a party with guns and booze and fire trucks.
Oh,
let's get it on.
This was an error in judgment.
I've got Rob Gronkowski, and now I'm going to bring a guy who, if you dare step out of line, he's going to do something to protect the party. He's not going to allow anybody to get unruly unless it's himself.
Oh, no.
Oh, no.
I had already penciled him in with my third pick.
Oh.
He'd bring the proper number 12, and we would have just I feel like I would have already beaten you.
100%. I mean, I wasn't even thinking about that,
That's
but now
why
this
you
guy
took
can
him.
bring his own
That's
whiskey.
why you took him, you cheapskate, because he owns a bourbon brand.
He can bring his own whiskey.
He's bringing all the booze.
Yeah. That way I don't have to come off the top.
How did I not know you were going to do that?
I didn't even think about that, honestly, but
Why?
now that's a perfect. That's the perfect thing. Okay, so Gronk and Conor McGregor, and I'm gonna take this guy because I think if I don't, you're probably gonna take him. And every party has to have the guy that can just house beers. You have that at your party because you're that guy.
I am that guy.
I'm not that guy.
Yeah, I am that guy.
I'm a 3 drinks in. I'm ready to go night. So David Bakhtiari is next.
That's not a bad call.
And if we get into drinking games, he's the guy on the boot. If we're doing the Das Boot challenge,
I got news for you. If yours is competing with me, you're in trouble. You're going to be the weak link in that chain, and I am not going to have one of those.
Yes. So David Bakhtiari, who is famous for showing up at NBA games and just swallowing beers by the pint.
You have thrown a wrench in my plan. All right, so I have to take the guy here that I already knew I was going to take. I feel like I've gone a lot of guys that are kind of like me. Pat and I are very similar. John's an older version of me. I need somebody that's a little crazy. Every good party's got Crazy Larry.
Oh, gosh.
So there's a guy on the board that's a former heavyweight champion of the world. I'm going Iron Mike Tyson.
Oh, okay.
And I feel like now, you know what? We're 3 in. I think we're doing good stuff.
Your party has gone way older than I thought it was going to.
That shouldn't shock you. Because here's the thing. And Caleb Pete called me a millennial the other day, and there was almost an assault on me.
I was going to say, did you have that fire in your eyes?
I told him there are a lot of things you could call me. That is not one of those. We were never going particularly young here. This is not how this was going to go. I need people that can keep up with me. And I feel like I got 3 of those. I feel like I do this every single time. When I wind up at the turn, I don't know what to do.
You don't know where to go. So again, you're going to take your time out. You're going to think about things. You're going to try to regroup because my first 3 picks have just been so unbelievably great.
One of yours burned me, and I wasn't planning on it.
I feel like you should have seen the Conor McGregor thing coming.
I didn't.
He's the one guy that I've just personality-wise, like, he is not a great fighter anymore.
No.
He's good. He's great. He was great. He's not great anymore. He's good. But it's the personality that keeps you coming back.
I think I know what I'm going to do, but I'm going to take my time out. I'm a big fan of the turn timeout right here. Take a quick commercial break, come back with the rest of the Sports Party Goer Draft.
You are in the Sportsocracy here on ESPN Asheville. And, Tanks, here's comments in the YouTube channel. Tank's too cheap to party.
Tank makes everyone else buy the food.
Bingo. Especially if these guys are coming. I'm not coming off for anything. You're Rob Gronkowski, Conor McGregor, and David Bakhtiari.
Yeah, here's a little thing that should surprise no one. Tank has a Velcro wallet.
Time saver traffic on the new ESPN Asheville.
Because slow traffic volume, 26 westbound approaching Hendersonville Road to the Blue Ridge Parkway, 26 eastbound pockets of delays between Bavard Road and east of Long Shoals Road. 40 westbound delays between the 26-240 split Malfunction Junction and Newfound Road. Near Avery Creek, Boulevard Road north and southbound, approaching Long Shoals Road is stop and go. Near Arden, Hendersonville Road northbound, stop and go, approaching Long Shoals Road. Sweeten Creek Road north and southbound, approaching Mills Gap Road, delays. Again on Hendersonville Road northbound near Fletcher, traffic slowing, approaching Fanning Bridge Road. I'm Lyndon Fuel with your Time Saver traffic.
This report is sponsored by eBay Motors.
Ray Magliozzi here. I'd like to carry more parts, but I barely have room to think in my garage. Luckily, eBay Motors has all the right parts at the right prices. 122 million of them. Can't imagine stocking that many parts. Where would I get all those shelves? eBay Motors. Let's ride.
iHeartRadio Earth is here with little tips for a healthier planet. Save money on gas this summer by observing the speed limit. Gas mileage usually decreases rapidly at speeds above 50 miles per hour. And on average, each 5 miles per hour you drive over 50 miles per hour is like paying an additional 30 cents per gallon for gas. Brought to you by iHeartRadio Earth and the National Environmental Education Foundation. To find more tips for smarter, sustainable living or to take action in your own community, go to iHeartRadio.com/Earth.
Make plans now to come to the 95th Annual Mountain Dance and Folk Festival, the nation's oldest folk festival. Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, August 4th, 5th, and 6th. Enjoy 3 nights of the very best mountain musicians and dancers, all in the comfort of UNC Asheville's Lipinski Auditorium. Don't miss a moment. Be there along about sundown, 7 p.m. if you're particular. For tickets or more information about the 95th Annual Mountain Dance and Folk Festival, go to folkheritage.org.
Make this the year you go to our iHeartRadio Music Festival.
Friday, September 23rd and Saturday the 24th. Buy your tickets now at AXS.com.
Stream it free on the CW app and CWTV.com.
The iHeartRadio Music Festival is connecting all of us.
Capital One is the proud partner of the iHeartRadio Music Festival for the 6th year in a row, bringing great products, rewards, and services to its customers. What's in your wallet?
Real estate isn't about properties, it's about people. I'm Clarissa Marshall with eXp Realty, your native realtor serving all of Western North Carolina. I will work hard for you, and I believe in doing the right thing every time. I market each of my listings to reach out-of-town buyers. I use a professional photographer and drone video on every single listing, as well as collaborate with agents across the country to find your buyer. Check me out online at clarissasellswnc.com or give me a call at 828-774-6343. It would be my pleasure to assist you through the real estate process.
Rogue Combat Club, Asheville's home for comprehensive martial arts training, has a goal for our community, one that's stronger, more fit, and unwavers in its support of one another. Rogue Combat Club's instructors have competed at the highest levels and offer classes for everyone from young children to adults in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, Muay Thai, and wrestling. Rogue Combat Club classes can help you boost your self-confidence and self-defense skills while weeding out the egos and intimidation found at other gyms. Join today at roguecombatclub.com.
At Ingles, whether we're celebrating Friday night rivals, televising college basketball games, bringing the Fan Fest to semi-pro soccer, or taking you out to the ball game at your minor league park, it's all in the bag. Ingles, low prices, love the savings.
And you are in the Sportsocracy here on ESPN Asheville. Yeah, I got to remember to turn the mic on there. You can see us everywhere on YouTube. Go to thesportsocracy.com. Click on that live video link. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. No. I get that tickle in my throat.
What is it? Every time you turn on a microphone, all of a sudden you have to cough.
I don't know.
It's like a Freudian slip with you now. You see the light turn on and, I must cough now immediately.
TheSportsocracy.com. Click on the live video link. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button so you can get into the chat. You got a question for us that you would like answered here live on the program. Go ahead and get that in the chat now, and we will do that coming up in the next segment. We are in the middle of our daily draft. And before we go too much further into the daily draft, we'll take this moment to tell you that I had another weigh-in today. PhD weight loss continues to help me shed the pounds and hopefully for once and for all, get rid of the fat tank. I get that's not a word that a lot of people like to use, but you know what? You got to say at some point in your life, you got to come to the realization of I'm too fat. I have to do something about this. And PhD weight loss, I believe, has saved my life. Since November, I have lost over 80 pounds on the PhD weight loss system. Dr. Ashley Lucas has the perfect plan for you to lose weight, lose it quickly, and become a healthier human. She believes that we all have athletes inside of us. Now, I'm just finding out that there wasn't an athlete inside of me. The skinnier I get, the thinner I get, the more and more I find out there was no muscle under any of that.
Nope.
But that's not the point. The point is getting rid of the fat weight. 80% of losing that visceral fat is all about nutrition, and they've got the perfect plan to help you reach your goals.
Part of my new favorite part of this is that in the YouTube comments, it's seemingly a daily basis that people tell us you need to have your headshots retaken because now neither one of you look like that anymore, and that's all thanks to the plan and program at PhD Weight Loss.
PhD Weight Loss, you can find them at myphdweightloss.com. PhD Weight Loss, the official weight loss program of the Clemson Tigers and their fans. So far in the daily draft, the celebrity athlete bachelor party that we are putting together. I think Jeremy just went into this, I need a drinking team.
But that's a good point. My next pick provides a slightly different element to the party.
Through the first three picks, Jeremy has Pat McAfee, John Daly, and Mike Tyson. To my Rob Gronkowski, Conor McGregor, David Bakhtiari.
So the reason we're doing this is with my bachelor party coming up. What would be the ultimate team? Well, if it's going to involve me, you can assume, as we do a very gambling-centric show, that there's probably going to be a gambling element to anything that I do. Mm-hmm. So I need somebody that's good at that.
Aha.
As you said, my party has tended to stray a little older because I don't want to have to take care of anybody. So I'm going to go the round mound of rebound, Mr. Charles Barkley.
Oh, Charles Barkley. Okay, at least you'll have somebody that you can make fun of their golf swing.
Correct. And if we wind up golfing, there's someone there that I can beat.
It's very interesting that is the tact you took with your next pick, because that's exactly the tact I was going to take with mine. At any good bachelor party, feel like at some point, poker game might break out. So you need to have somebody that likes to do those things. I'm going with Michael. I want Michael Jordan at my bachelor party.
Indeed. I didn't even think about him, to be really honest with you.
Yeah, and think about this. I mean, if things get stagnant throughout the evening, either Michael's going to start betting on how many beers it takes for David Bakhtiari to walk through a window, or the poker game thing, or we could just sit around and listen to him tell stories.
I do love that you just keep finding very wealthy people that will finance your party. That's the least surprising element of this in the history of any of these we've ever done.
All right, Michael is my latest pick, and my last pick for the start of the fifth round here. I'm going to go with another guy who, he lights up a room when he walks into it, and you don't know.
Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer.
No.
Oh.
No.
he lights up a room.
He does like the color red, though. And I hope that if I'm inviting him and he's going to come, maybe he'll bring his brother and things will get really, really interesting. It's Travis Kelce.
That's not a bad selection.
On Travis Kelce, and if he wants to bring Jason along with him, I'm going to be fine with that. Because who knows? I mean, Jason may show up in costume like he did at the Super Bowl parade for the Philadelphia Eagles. Travis Kelce is just, he's a guy that he seems to be on level 10 all the time. And I feel like he would be a hell of a dude to party with.
If you had told me I was going to have the drastically older team, I would not have thought that. That part of this has dumbfounded me. Mm-hmm. And I am shocked that we've gotten to number 10 here. And I'm going to be honest with you, I think I've already won. So I feel like I can go old school party guy.
Okay.
Maybe I'm being a homer.
Oh, good Lord.
It's Joe Willie Namath.
Ugh. At least, if anything, I feel like this group of yours that you have put together, they're all going to go to bed by 11.
Not even kind of. And frankly, I want somebody else that can wear a fur coat with me.
Mm-hmm.
All the way in.
Joe Namath is 80 years old.
It's fine. He would still, you would be asleep before Joe Namath. I feel very sure of that.
Okay. All right. This is very weird. Jeremy, who apparently one likes his women to be much, much younger than his drinking partners.
My wife's older than me. Soon to be wife.
Soon to be wife. Is she really?
Yeah.
Oh.
Not by much, but by a little bit.
Mm-hmm. There was a time where Jeremy had the he had the reputation of basically robbing the cradle.
That's not true.
All right, it's UDFA time. Undrafted free agent. We count down from 3. We both say a name. If we both say the same name, which I feel like we've not gotten anywhere close to each other's lists on this, except for the Conor McGregor thing. So I feel like we don't have any shot of tying.
There's
on
virtually
the UDFA.
no shot you're going to say the same name that I am.
All right, so let's do that. Let's just do this one individually. You go first. UDFA, who are you taking?
Mine's a guy that has a lot of time on his hands, and another announcer. I now will have 3 announcers on my team. Matt Leinart.
Matt Leinart. All right.
If you know, you know.
There are countless stories of Matt Leinart basically living his teen through 35 years.
Oh, there are many people that think he busted out in the NFL because as soon as he got paid, he went, party time.
Absolutely. All right, so Matt Leinart is your UDFA for the Celebrity Drinkers Party. All right, I'm going to take another guy who I feel like, one, he would probably be able to eat 800 beers. It's going to be fun.
You can't draft me on your team.
He's got a very entertaining accent. I know it feels like I'm talking about you, but I'm talking about none other than the undisputed heavyweight champion of the world, Tyson Fury.
I actually considered him.
You should.
I did. I considered him.
I mean, there's just something about those, those European guys that makes you go, that guy's probably a whole lot of fun at a party. Tyson Fury he's going to kick things up a notch. And, if we get really bored and there's nothing else to do at the end of the night, Michael's going to have everybody gambling on who's going to win the fight between Conor McGregor and Tyson Fury.
Tyson Fury.
Not even close.
Not close. He will pick him up and carry him like a small child.
Yes. All right, I like these teams. The bachelor party of Jeremy's dreams, where things get weird.
I literally got every person I wanted. Short of Conor McGregor.
Yeah, Pat McAfee, John Daly, Mike Tyson, Charles Barkley, Joe Namath, and your UDFA was who?
Matt Leinart.
Matt Leinart. I feel like that's his NFL career was a bust. He's going to be the bust of your party.
If you don't understand why I took Matt Leinart, Google it. You'll see very quickly why he was my 6th selection.
My bachelor party includes Rob Gronkowski, Conor McGregor, David Bakhtiari, Michael Jordan, Travis Kelce, and Tyson Fury. We'll have the graphic up over the weekend on all of the social medias at the Sportsocracy. You can vote on them there. Winner of today's daily draft will get the first pick in Monday's daily draft in the 5 o'clock hour here on ESPN Asheville. When we come back for the break, we'll tell you the one thing we always tell you: don't do crimes, plus answering your questions.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
Hot temperatures for us here this weekend. Highs expected to be in the 90s both Saturday and Sunday. Partly cloudy skies for us here tonight. Some patchy fog late, mid-60s. Morning fog Saturday. Otherwise, mostly sunny and very hot. All the way up into the low 90s tomorrow afternoon. Mix of clouds and sun. Hot and humid Sunday. Stray late-day shower storm possible, low 90s. Better storm chances Monday. I'm meteorologist Ken Boone at the Weather Channel.
This is your time saver traffic on the new ESPN Asheville.
Traffic is crawling 26 westbound approaching Hendersonville Road to Fanning Bridge Road due to an accident. Again, 26 westbound slows west of Airport Road to Long Shoals Road. 26 eastbound delays between the Blue Ridge Parkway to just east of Long Shoals Road. 40 westbound delays between the 26-240 split Malfunction Junction and Newfound Road. Brevard Road northbound is stop and go between Ledbetter Road and Clayton Road. Brevard Road southbound delays between Clayton Road and Long Shoals Road. Hendersonville Road northbound in the Fletcher area is stop and go approaching Fanning Bridge Road. Hendersonville Road northbound is slow between Arden and Long Shoals Road as well. Sweeten Creek Road north and southbound approaching Mills Gap Road slow. I'm Lemon Field with your Time Saver traffic.
This report is sponsored by Pfizer and BioNTech. Charging a cell phone can be like getting a booster shot. A booster is given to enhance or restore protection after a primary series vaccination, which wanes over time. Schedule an appointment when you are eligible. Sponsored by Pfizer and BioNTech.
You do not want to miss this. Zero Res Carpet and Air Duct Cleaning's huge summer sale is going on now. 15% off all cleaning services. Carpets, rugs, upholstery, tile, and even air ducts all 15% off. Use promo code Summer Sale at ZeroResAsheville.com. Zero Res. It's the right way to clean.
You should be watching the World Cup right now, but you're not. Want to know why? Well, it's an interesting story, a mix of true crime, political scandal, and slow simmering corruption. You'll hear all about it on our new podcast, The Lords of Soccer, How FIFA Stole the Beautiful Game. I'm Connor Powell. The 12-part series from iHeartRadio and Inside Voices is out now. Listen to The Lords of Soccer on the iHeartRadio app or wherever you get your podcasts.
When I finally drove the old car into the grave, I knew there was only one place I was going to go. Fred Anderson Nissan of Asheville, home of the family plan. And yes, they treat you like family. I went in, told them what I was looking for, told them my budget, and in no time, I was signing the paperwork on my certified pre-owned vehicle. They have the area's largest selection on quality pre-owned vehicles and certified Nissans. They go through a 167-point inspection, so you know it's not going to let you down. They gave me the Carfax report, so I know the history of my vehicle. And the Fred Anderson family plan gives me things like oil changes and car washes and loaner cars if I have to have major work done on the car in the future. For me, buying a car has always been an intimidating thought. But the folks at Fred Anderson Nissan of Asheville made it super easy. Don't be like me. Don't wait till the last minute to get a deal done. Go to AndersonNissan.com or stop by the showroom at 629 Brevard Road. And don't forget to mention we sent you from the Sportsocracy and get a $250 bonus on your trade-in at Fred Anderson Nissan of Asheville.
There's a lot of talk about heroes these days.
Hey, buddy, you want to go fishing?
The folks in the funny outfits with superpowers and spandex.
All right, buddy. Let me help you.
But at Ingles, we know that a lot of our heroes
Now you look like a pro.
are a little closer to home. They're the ones who give us what we need for those everyday adventures. That's why we look up to the ones who look out for us.
Don't forget your fish food. Catch a big one.
Ingles.
See you later, Dad.
All
Bye.
the ingredients for family.
Sportsocracy on ESPN Asheville, 92.9 FM, 880 AM, 1400, and heard everywhere on the iHeartRadio app. It's the time where we tell you, don't do crimes. 3 Centerville residents were injured Thursday after police say a complete stranger broke into their house armed with gasoline. He attacked them and set the house on fire. Don't do crimes. Don't go into a house that's not yours. But especially, don't break into the house, set it on fire while you're still in it.
Oh, he set it on fire with himself in it?
Yes. He is one of the ones that is injured in the house fire because he broke into the house and then, of course, got startled by their people there. I don't know. The cars in the driveway probably should have been an indicator that there's someone at home. But no, with estimated damages of $1.2 million, because not only did the house catch on fire, but also a RV that was parked outside also caught on fire. The guy set the house on fire with himself still inside it. That, I feel like, is just top-level dumb criminal. Oh, and by the way, the incident happened at 2:15 in the afternoon.
That's a bizarre time to commit such crime.
Indeed. Don't do crimes.
My story is about Caitlin McClure and her former now boyfriend, Mark D'Amico. They had a story in 2017 of Miss McClure ran out of gas on a Philadelphia highway, and there was a homeless veteran on the highway named Johnny Bobbitt Jr., who allegedly gave $20 to McClure to walk down the street, get some gas put in her car because she didn't have anything on her. That is a very touching story. It led to a GoFundMe, which was donated to by over 14,000 people.
Wow.
To reward the Good Samaritan, Johnny Bobbitt. There's only one problem with this story. It's all complete hokum. And it has been discovered to be hokum. Apparently, these three people met each other outside a Philadelphia casino in October of 2017, shortly before this story was told.
Mm-hmm.
So they came up with this idea of we'll come up with a story where the homeless veteran gives you $20 to put gas in your car. We'll start a GoFundMe because he's such a good Samaritan. People give to it, and we're awful people, and all of the things will be hunky dunky. Well, here's where it fell apart. You had three people in this criminal enterprise, and two of them were dating each other. So what do you think happened? All of the donations come in, and Mr. Bobbitt Jr. got cut out. He was the one that was actually the veteran that had done this, supposedly. Well, the couple refused to give him any of the money. Instead, those two bought an RV, a BMW, and financed multiple trips to casinos in Las Vegas and New Jersey, which, of course, led Mr. Bobbitt to do what? Sue them. You sued people to make up for money off a story that you also lied about. Mm-hmm. That is next level stupid criminal. Mr. Bobbitt was sentenced to 5 years probation on state charges and faces federal sentencing next month. Mr. D'Amico has already been sentenced to 27 months in prison, and Miss McClure was just sentenced to a year and is awaiting, on the federal level, and is awaiting state charges. Mm-hmm. Good for the government. If you defraud people's kindness, you are the worst kind of human.
100%.
The worst kind of human. Mm-hmm. And you deserve everything you get and probably more. There are people that actually need GoFundMes, and things like this happen, and it makes cynical people like me go, I don't know. J.J. Watt just got wrapped up in one of these on Twitter because a woman said she was selling her memorabilia of his to pay for her grandfather's funeral. Well, the only problem is it's like the 10th funeral she's tried to sell things, and she tagged J.J. Watt in it. Mm-hmm. Makes you skeptical.
She tagged him knowing what she would get.
Oh, 100%.
Knowing that J.J. Watt is probably
the nicest human on planet Earth.
Yeah.
Don't do crimes and don't defraud people out of money.
And
you're the worst.
I just hope somebody jumped in, and I'm sure they did, and said, no, JJ, this woman's a scam artist. Because when I saw that story officially first pop up, I thought, well, that sucks. And then the first comment underneath was, she's tried this 7 times in the last 4 years.
Yeah, I Twitter is one of those places you always look to the comments. You don't get away with much on Twitter.
Right.
One of the few things I will give that stupid app.
You are in the Sportsocracy here on ESPN Asheville, and
who's gonna break the news? Who's gonna break the news? Who's gonna break the news? Who's gonna break the news?
We have double breaking news.
Double.
The first one, the NCAA has charged Tennessee's football program with 18 level 1 alleged rules violations.
18 of them.
Which are the most severe under its rules for impermissible recruiting benefits under Jeremy Pruitt. Mm-hmm. So apparently the McDonald's bag full of cash was accurate. Included in the allegations, Pruitt is accused of providing about $9,000 to the mothers of 2 prospects, and his wife, Casey, apparently made 25 cash payments totaling $12,500 to pay for a prospect's car, mother's car. Mm-hmm. That is not going to end well for Tennessee. The other bit of breaking news, Vince McMahon is officially retiring from the WWE. He's gone completely out the door. He is leaving it. He is leaving the company to co-CEOs, his daughter Stephanie and current WWE president Nick Khan.
Mm-hmm.
They will be co-CEOs, and Stephanie's husband, Paul Levesque, better known as Triple H, will be taking over again as head of talent relations.
Nice. All right, Vince McMahon gone after all of the
and we will
recent news about the payoffs.
I could genuinely say, I don't think we're going to miss you.
No, that time has come and gone, and happy trails, I guess, is the best thing that I can say. All right, it's time to answer some of your questions from the YouTube stream. You got a question, just pop it in the YouTube stream, thesportsocracy.com. Click on the live video link, subscribe to the channel. That'll get you into the chat. The first question that was posed to us was about sleepers for the playoffs this year in the NFL.
If there was a weird sleeper team that would make the playoffs, who would yours be? So I'm taking this question as you and I staking flags on weird teams to make the playoffs.
Mm-hmm. Weird teams to make the playoffs. That's
in the AFC. It's harder to think a sleeper team's going to make the playoffs.
Yeah,
there's too many good teams.
Yeah, and I get that. I mean, there are teams that I feel like are close, but I mean, a weird sleeper to me would be like the Houston Texans.
No, there's
not one of those. There's not a team that I look at and go, that's a god awful team. And there's a chance that they can make the playoffs.
There's one in the league to me that I think would fall into real sleeper. Like I said, there's 12 teams that can make the playoffs in the AFC, and it wouldn't shock anybody.
Mm-hmm.
And 12 is the New England Patriots. And it's all because of Bill. I don't think you can call that a sleeper team.
Right.
So that means I have to look to the NFC, to a team that would surprise people. And there's only one to me that qualifies.
Okay.
It's the Detroit Lions. I know that sounds completely insane.
It is ridiculous.
Look at the schedule. Just look to the schedule. Look at that offense. There are a lot of winnable games on that schedule. Mm-hmm. Because they play the NFC East.
Mm-hmm.
How many teams in the NFC East do you definitively know they're not better than? 2? If I said they're better than the Washington Commanders, would that blow your mind? No.
No. I mean, it wouldn't blow my mind, but it would make me have a lot of questions.
Looking at their schedule, I could make the argument that they play 6 of the 7 worst teams in the NFL.
Okay.
And a couple of them they played twice. Well, one of them they played twice in the Bears.
Mm-hmm.
I could see a path they win 9 games, and hell, that might make the playoffs in the NFC. It's not going to happen in the AFC.
I couldn't see that happening.
But, I mean, to answer the question of a sleeper,
mm-hmm.
I mean, there's not going to be another Cincinnati Bengals, I don't think.
No. If I had to pick one, like bet your house scenario.
Oh, there's not one for me to bet my house on. But is there a
okay, maybe bet your house was wrong. Gun to my head. You have to pick one. I'm going to say the Jacksonville Jaguars.
I don't see a path that they do it in the AFC.
I don't know. I really don't know. I
So,
don't know
I mean,
what
for
we're
that
going to
to
see out
happen-
of this offense this year. Doug Peterson coming in. They got Travis Etienne back from injury. We still don't know what he's going to be like in the NFL. They've made a lot of additions to the defense. So if there was a team out there that you go, they were dog water last year and they've got a chance to be the Cincinnati Bengals of this year, I don't think there's another team that scratches that other than the Cincinnati Bengals. Because you look at other teams like, sleeper teams. I consider the Denver Broncos. But there are too many people.
Sleeper.
Right. There's too many people that believe that Russell Wilson's going to come in and completely turn around the franchise in 1 year. You can't really qualify them as a sleeper. The Miami Dolphins. There are too many people that believe that Tua's going to make the jump this year, and Tyreek Hill and all of the additions that they made in the offseason are going to get them into the playoffs.
See, to me, for it to be a sleeper, I've got the list of teams in the NFL and their odds to make the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like you have to be on the positive side of yes. It's like the Detroit Lions are plus 400. You go to Denver. Denver's minus 150 to make it.
Right.
That doesn't make you a sleeper.
Right.
You're actually favored to make it. And according to Vegas, there are more than 7 teams that are favored to make the playoffs. I get it.
Mm-hmm.
But, I mean, I go down the list. The Atlanta Falcons, no shot. Carolina Panthers, Chicago Bears, no shot. Jacksonville's plus 450. So, yes, that's a higher odds than Detroit, but I don't see a path to it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't see how you're going to be better than 7 teams in the AFC. Even if Trevor Lawrence becomes everything we thought he would in one single year, you still have a ton of youth on that defense. And your schedule is going to be brutal because you have to play a full conference in the AFC that's not yours.
Mm-hmm.
If I had to pick another one, the Jets are plus 700, and I'm looking at that going, okay.
The Carolina Panthers have a better shot at getting to the playoffs than you do.
By odds, you're right. I don't agree with that, though. One of those teams is drastically better than the other.
Oh, I agree. But I'm talking about the conferences.
Oh, I mean, and I'm not disputing that.
Right.
I think to fall into sleeper, it has to be somebody that just doesn't make a ton of sense. And there's not a lot of teams on that side that are not just – they're at such a talent deficiency.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the Giants are plus 225. The Giants could be plus 22 million, and I've still no shot.
No shot to take that. All right, so Jeremy's answer is the Detroit Lions. I'll take the Jacksonville Jaguars. If you have to pick a sleeper to make the playoffs this year, that's kind of where you're at, because everybody else that you might consider to be a surprise, quote unquote, to make the playoffs, they're already kind of on the bubble.
I mean, like the Saints are plus 125. If they fall into the category, then that'd be my answer.
Well, I guess, by that criteria, they would fall into the sleeper category, but I don't know. Maybe we're too drunk. Maybe everybody else sees the New Orleans Saints for what they are, and you and I are just too drunk.
I don't think so.
On this team.
I don't think so. I really don't. And they're clearly better than 2 teams in their own division.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's hard to be drunk on a team when you are very clearly either the 1 or 2 in that division.
Speaking of drunk, Jonathan Welch asks, which NFL team will be Mr. Irrelevant for the 2022 season? Is that who's picking Mr. Irrelevant?
Well, that would be asking who's going to win the Super Bowl, and that's the nobody circles the wagons like the Buffalo Bills.
Yeah, I mean, Baltimore Ravens. I mean, if that's the goal here. If you're talking about the team that's going to be irrelevant, it's Chicago.
I was going to answer it conversely. What is the most irrelevant team in the NFL? Chicago Bears. It's not all that close.
Mm-hmm. I feel like Atlanta would be in that discussion.
Atlanta
as well.
at least has young players that are intriguing.
Mm-hmm.
I am intrigued to see what Drake London and Kyle Pitts looks like together. What are you really intrigued by with the Chicago Bears? How bad can an NFL team actually be?
Mm-hmm.
That's the most interesting part of that team to me. How bad can a team in this league be?
The most interesting part of it is they're going to end up with the number 1 pick next year in the draft.
Do you take Will Anderson or tap out on Justin
Exactly.
Fields?
Do you tap out on Justin Fields and take one of these highly touted quarterbacks, or do you get your next Khalil Mack? That's the most intriguing thing about Chicago's season to me. You are in the Sportsocracy here on ESPN Asheville 92.9 FM, 880 AM, and 1400. When we come back, Jeremy's going to be mad.
This is your time saver traffic on the new ESPN Asheville.
Traffic stop 26 eastbound between the French Broad River and Long Shoals Road. An accident. All eastbound lanes on 26 currently shut down. 26 westbound slows west of Chimney Rock Road to the Blue Ridge Parkway. 40 westbound slow between the Smoky Park Highway and Newfound Road. Brevard Road northbound in Avery Creek approaching Long Shoals Road. Delays. Earlier vehicle fire, Brevard Road at Borg Warner Drive, now in the clearing stages. Sweeten Creek Road northbound approaching Mills Gap Road is slow. I'm Lyndon Fuel with your time saver traffic.
This report is sponsored by Indeed.com. If summer is heating up your hiring needs, then you need Indeed. Their all-in-one hiring solution makes it easy to attract, interview, and hire candidates all in one place. Sponsor your first job and get hiring today by visiting Indeed.com/credit.
I'm Hannah Waddingham, and this is Hustle Rule, an audio docuseries featuring the untold stories of women soccer players around the world. From the streets of Santos, Brazil, to a truck smuggling Afghan refugees bumping along a road in rural Denmark. These are the stories of players willing to risk everything for the game they love. Listen to Hustle Rule on the iHeartRadio app or wherever you get your podcasts.
Won't stop for nobody.
Did you book the Townsend's 10th anniversary tickets?
Alona's travel agency is overbooked and experiencing delays. She needs to land a new project manager to clear her business's runways.
Yes, Mrs. O'Hara, we checked. Pygmy goats do not count as emotional support animals.
Indeed can help her hire great people fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. You can schedule and conduct virtual interviews all from your employer dashboard. Earn up to $500 in sponsored job credits by interviewing on Indeed. Visit Indeed.com/credit. Terms and conditions apply.
At Ingles, whether we're celebrating Friday night rivals, televising college basketball games, bringing the Fan Fest to semi-pro soccer, or taking you out to the ball game at your minor league park, it's all in the bag. Ingles, low prices, love the savings.
I am now over 80 pounds down now on the PhD weight loss program. We've been doing it since Thanksgiving. I've been working the plan. Their healthy nutrition, the protein-based diet that I am on with PhD weight loss has helped me lose over 80 pounds. I cannot be happier with my results, and I owe it all to Dr. Ashley Lucas, the MVP of PhD.
You have been running 5Ks and doing things like that, which that was not really my goal. I've always been athletic. I've always done athletic things. I just wanted to be able to do it and not die for 48 hours afterwards. And thanks to the plan and program at PhD, I'm able to do that. I'm playing golf the same way I did in my early 20s. I'm down to my high school weight, and I haven't felt like this since I was in high school, and it's all thanks to PhD weight loss.
213 pounds after being 295. MyPhDweightloss.com. PhD Weight Loss, the official weight loss program of the Clemson Tigers and their fans.
I believe real estate isn't about properties. It's about people. I am Clarissa Marshall with eXp Realty, serving all of Western North Carolina. Navigating the home buying and selling journey can feel overwhelming at times, and that's why having an agent who cares about you and your needs is key. I'm a native of Western North Carolina, and I close over a home a week. I'm an expert in the market, pricing my sellers correctly to net you the most money, and working as a skilled negotiator for my buyers. Please give me a call today at 828-774-6343 to set up a complimentary market analysis.
Dirty perky shark back flat.
I'm as mad as hell, and I'm not gonna take this anymore.
Shark back flat. Good. Let the hate flow through you.
I have very little faith in the NCAA, but I'm going to give them the benefit of the doubt. The information about the Tennessee volunteer football program came out in what we like to call the Friday news dump, which is you throw things out on the AP wire at 4 o'clock and you hope it dies. So my hope is that means the NCAA has looked at these problems that happened in the Tennessee program, and they have determined that Jeremy Pruitt was the rogue, lone wolf, doesn't care about the rules entity that we have long said on this show that we thought he was and have long been told that he was. The one thing I hope comes of this is that the NCAA doesn't do that thing that they love to do. You don't punish the person that actually committed the crime. You don't penalize the person that actually caused the infractions. Jeremy Pruitt is a pariah in college football. Will not be touched by anyone ever again. That has nothing to do with Josh Heupel. That has nothing to do with the administration of this team right now. This has nothing to do with Tennessee on the whole. This is one guy that, are you a little responsible for hiring him? Absolutely. But to crush the program for something that Jeremy Pruitt did is the definition of insanity. NCAA, get it right. I'm mad.
18 level 1 violations against the Tennessee football program and their former head coach, Jeremy Pruitt. The NCAA will probably screw this up like they do every
Well, I mean, penalizing Tennessee here would be dumb. every bit of this was about him. If you remember, he was hosting on-campus visits during the Corona shutdown.
6 times.
That's not on Tennessee. That's on the coach. They got rid of him. Do you know what he does now?
No.
He's a senior analyst for the New York Giants.
Woo.
Woo. Good for you. He'll never get another job in college football, so if you want to throw a show cause on him, I have zero problem with that.
You were going to tell me he was out selling cars or something.
He is currently working with Limu Emu. He is the handler for Liberty Mutual.
Oh, Jeremy Pruitt, just another failure in the Tennessee football program.
I knew that was going to be a problem when the call came out, where he had called the sheriff's department basically to say, well, the previous sheriff let me just bail out a kid because I think the kid got a DUI or something like that. And I knew, listening to how entitled he was on the phone, you're doing things that are otherworldly, rule-breaky. And Tennessee needs to get away from him immediately. I'm glad they did.
Yep.
The program's on the right trajectory now. I just hope the NCAA doesn't do that thing they like to do, which is we're going to penalize somebody that had absolutely nothing to do with this.
If you need to get on the right trajectory with your health, there is a program out there for you. It's called PhD Weight Loss. You've heard us talk about this so many times, and it's because the results that you get from this program are fantastic. Jeremy and I have been on the program since Thanksgiving. I have lost over 80 pounds. I feel and act like a different person now because I have shed so much weight that I am now set up healthier for the future.
One of my favorite things that people say to us now on a daily basis is when they see our marketing materials, they say you need to get new headshots done because you don't in any way look like those people because you've lost so much weight. You look so much healthier, and it's all thanks to the plan, nutrition, and food at PhD Weight Loss.
PhD Weight Loss wants to help you shed the pounds and get rid of that weight loss problem that you've been having all your life. I have been a big guy ever since I was born, and now that I'm getting ready to turn 40, I'm in the best shape that I've ever been in, and it's all thanks to PhD Weight Loss. Go to myphdweightloss.com, myphdweightloss.com, the official weight loss program of the Clemson Tigers and their fans. The week is coming to a close here in the Sportsocracy. We are just one step closer to the launch of the football season.
We're 5 weeks away from college football. We're only 7 weeks away from the NFL. The Hall of Fame game is 13 days away. We have, I can't say we've officially made it because there is one more week of the doldrums of stories. But we're going to try to fill that with fantasy football and other fun things that we'll do next week. But it's here.
It is.
It is time.
It is here. We'll have all of your sleepers, don't draft lists, all of that coming up tomorrow. Next week.
Won't be tomorrow. If it's tomorrow, you'll be doing it by yourself.
Right. Coming up next week here in the Sportsocracy, we're so glad you're here with us each and every weekday afternoon from 3 to 6 on ESPN Asheville. Don't forget to also join us on the YouTube channel if you haven't already. We love the engagement throughout the program each and every day, and it's all because of all because we're family here in the Sportsocracy.
It's one of the things that we love is that you can integrate yourself into the show with just a few keystrokes. It's easier than taking calls. And but next week, I'm glad you said that because I didn't think of this. Starting Monday, we will have a call-in line where you can call in, voice your takes, and we will be able to play those on the air. We've always had a problem with phone calls. It's not because we don't want to. It's because the logistics of that are kind of difficult. So we cut out the middleman. But we will debut that on Monday.
Indeed. Have a great weekend, everybody, and we will be back with you here on ESPN Asheville at 3 o'clock Monday afternoon. Hope you get a chance to also stick around here on ESPN Asheville to check out the new show that follows us each and every day. It's a little slice of Vegas for you from the VSiN Sports Network. The Rush Hour is coming up next.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
Hot temperatures for us here this weekend. Highs expected to be in the 90s both Saturday and Sunday. Partly cloudy skies for us here tonight. Some patchy fog late mid-60s. Morning fog Saturday. Otherwise, mostly sunny and very hot. All the way up into the low 90s tomorrow afternoon. Mix of clouds and sun. Hot and humid Sunday. Stray late day shower storm possible low 90s. Better storm chances Monday. I'm meteorologist Ken Boone at the weather. Morning fog Saturday. Otherwise, mostly sunny and very hot. All the way up into the low 90s.
Center update here on ESPN Asheville.
Wherever you get your podcast.